Very good morning to one and all present here on this platform. I am Lalit Prabha, Assistant Professor, Department of University College. We are Bihar Muzaffarpur. My pleasure to invite everyone here on this platform today to attend this seminar on the topic exploring the nuances of skill development in unleashing potential. We thrilled to have such enthusiastic participants and a highly learned audience gathered to deepen their understanding here. The aim of our seminar is to assess the level of awareness and participation of rural youth in Skill India programs and their perceived effectiveness in fostering entrepreneurship. Conduct a comprehensive review of the literature on the impact of entrepreneurial programs among rural youth. Universities play a crucial role in underpinning innovation and entrepreneurial activity. They provide the conditions, facilities, the talents that foster the emergence of breakthrough ideas. Many have systems in place to support the development of new ideas. They maintain the ideal flow that gives opportunities for venture capital investment, which in turn mobilizes entrepreneurial ventures. Universities and colleges need to ensure that their intellectual property policies do not limit the ability of academics to work with entrepreneurial students, commercializing their research. Its entrepreneurship programs succeed at every educational level. Learning about entrepreneurship encourages analytical, organizational, and interpersonal skills and develops leadership and networking abilities. Students learn to identify and solve problems, work in teams, calibrate risks, and effectively communicate with others from different domains, such as with investors, partners, customers, etc. It hones their innovative skills, takes them beyond the current approaches of particular disciplinary perspectives, helping them to create imaginative new options, adopt strategic approaches, and design organizational mechanisms to experiment and transform good ideas into reality. It develops the mental agility to move from the identification of problems to the search of their solutions. Fostering an entrepreneurial mindset prepares students for the uncertain and unpredictable worlds they will contribute to create revolutions in the community. I now invite Vinamta ma'am to welcome the guests. Ma'am, please.
Should I speak? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Very good.
Hello?
Yes, sir, you are audible. Please give us a few minutes to welcome the guests, then we shall begin. Okay.
Hello, I should speak. It is my number to speak. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Is it my number to
Yes, sir,
speak?
please.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
One minute.
Okay. With the name of
Today I will.
With the name of Allah, who is very gracious and the most kind. Respectful
Excuse
audience.
me, sir.
Excuse me,
Sir, wait some few minutes. Vinamta ma'am is going to welcoming all the resource persons. So please wait few minutes. Okay, Vinamta ma'am.
So I welcome you all officially, third day and the valedictory day of the 3-day international seminar exploring the nuances of skill enhancement in unleashing entrepreneurship. Now, when we are on the third day, we have already seen so many guests, esteemed persons speaking on the behalf of what is skill enhancement and how can you hone your entrepreneurship skills. So we had so many guests from we had Mr. Shyam Singh from USA, had Mr. Arvind, who was himself a trainer. So in the government of Bihar. So they all told you about the various ways in which you can hone your skills in order to establish an entrepreneur. Now, the problem is like, why are we trying to inculcate this, or what is the significance of this seminar? So the first important thing is that nowadays, as I have already mentioned in the brochure of this seminar, that we always keep on seeking for government jobs, but it's not the ultimate end. Even in our past days, we had been, incorporated with the same feeling that you have to go for a government job. But that is not the end of the day. And when the jobs are not so much as prominently as was in the initial days after population explosion and all. So everyone cannot get a government job. And that's why there is this need to develop your skills. Be it, that's why we have taken or chosen so many various speakers, be it your poetic skills, be it your communication skills, your management skills, whatever skills you have. How can you hone themselves? How can you develop them in order to establish your own entrepreneurship? And then you can, be job givers, not job seekers. So in this vein, today, first of all, I would like to welcome Dr. Zahar, who is a renowned poet, who is the retired associate professor and retired deputy director of commerce from Pakistan. And not only this, sir has an endless CV. So Dr. Lalit Prabha ma'am will be introducing you to that. He has over 30 years of experience, and because he is an established poet, he will be telling you the techniques or the details of how to write a poetry or how to get yourselves published in order to, finally reap the benefits out of poetry writing. After that, we have today Dr. Rakesh Kumar with us. I would also like to welcome him, who is the Associate Professor at PG Department of Economics, RDS College, PRAPU, Muzaffarpur. There is also the ex-proctor of BRAPU. So he will be telling you about the economic details and the problems or challenges economically you can face while establishing any enterprise. Then we have with us Dr. Shivendra Rahul. I would also like to welcome him, who is an assistant professor of English and Communication at LNU, that is National Law University in Maharashtra. Sir has also previously had experiences teaching in Amity University, and he has also experiences teaching at Tashkent. So he has all this global, projection. So he will be also telling you about communication skills and all. And then last but not the least, we have with us Dr. Durgavu Bhattacharya, who is Assistant Professor of English at LND College, Motihari. So sir will also be talking with you about communication skills and what are the various things that can help you in a betterment of your life and of course in jobs. So communication skill is the must if you are going for a job purpose. So keeping this all in mind, and of course, we have our organizers here, Dr. Lalit Prabha ma'am, Dr. Ritu ma'am, Shilpa Bharti ma'am, and our principal sir, Dr. Lokman Ravindra Pratap, our esteemed senior teachers, Dr. Lakshmi Rani ma'am, and Dr. Muhammad Rais sir. I welcome you all to this seminar, and of course, our participants, who are the motivation behind all of this. So all the participants, I welcome you all on the behalf of MSKB College and English Department and Economics Department of MSKB College. Now I hand over the mic to Lalit Prabha ma'am. Ma'am will give you a brief CV of our esteemed guest, Professor Muhammad Shahnazar, and then we will continue with his speech.
Thank you. I start in the name of Allah, who is the most gracious and the kindest of all. Respected audience, I'm Muhammad Shahnazar from Pakistan. My humility and pleasure have increased many times when I got an invitation as a speaker to be among you. I'm very grateful to you all on availing myself a chance to express myself here before you. First of all, I greet you, pay my respect to Professor Lokmania Ravindra Pratap, Principal of Maila Shilp Kala Bhavan College, Muzaffarpur. My compliments to all members of the staff, students, and especially Professor Vinamrata Singh, who has played the role in contacting us. The topic I have been assigned is three-dimensional: poetry, its function, and tips of writing good poetry. Now, I briefly tell you what poetry is. To me, poetry is not merely a spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings, as William Wordsworth regards. One aspect has been taken into consideration and the other half has been neglected. He talks about overflow, which means output or outflow. It is rather a matter of inflow and input too. Input and output both are equally essential and integral. They go side by side. Poetry, as I experienced, is an expression of heart-piercing thoughts combined with emotions flowing from the greater mind to the receptive mind. When both function on a certain indescribable fleeting frequency, the receptive mind walks, wanders, performing the task of centuries during these ephemeral moment, revealing the curtain truth of time and place in which men exist. When a thought is captured, the mind doesn't accept it instantly. It is referred to the heart, and then the heart repels to mind. It oscillates like pendulum between the both. Heart and mind for some time, heart and mind for some time, heart to mind for some time, and the thought oscillates between heart and mind and finally gets settled. If it settles, if it settles in heart, it becomes poetry. And if it settles into mind, it becomes philosophy or science. If it settles in heart, it assumes the shape of emotion, which means poetry. I would like to read out my own poem that is very brief, but on the same topic. Thoughts descend. They come down from the world unexplored in the form of waves, purple, pink, and black. Are winged birds, twittering sparrows, cooing doves, or pigeons, or singing nightingales, and sometimes they fall like stones hurling down. Thoughts that soar near are captured by mind. Some are spoken, some are penned, and become the record. While the uncaptured return behind to the origin. The innocent, plain minds capture magnificent thoughts, but the murky mind magnetized sable ones wherefrom sprout the bows of violence and odium that transform the world into a place of turmoil. Then every poet puts on the emotion the costume of diction, according to his intellect and skill. Just like a painter who uses brush and colors, a skilled painter may create magnum opus like Mona Lisa. Construction material is the same. The skilled artist may construct out of it Taj Mahal. But it is hard for an ordinary builder to work like that. In the same manner, the poet uses diction. The skilled and experienced one dignify, glorify, and enhance images more than actually found in the world. Dignified thoughts with glorified diction help us creating beautiful, durable, lasting poetry, and it makes the poet a living literary figure. To me, a poet is an intellectual leader whose eyesight and intellect are different from common masses. He stands on a high pedestal on a mountain wherefrom he experiences the world that exists on the other side and communicates his finding to the world in which he actually lives in. He, with unusual convincing power, shows that the people a better world and they collectively endeavor to attain it. Consequently, the society changes. Now I come to function of poetry. Initially, the most fundamental function of poetry had been entertainment, or to entertain the reader and provide him an intellectual pleasure. But with the advent of time, when poetry was written profusely, it became a medium of instruction and was included in the reading curricula. It was done because it affects and changes the reader very rapidly It had been used to create patriotism, nationalism, and to flare up fortitude of the defenders too. Now the question is how poetry changes readers. Intrinsically, it carries a dynamic impact even to shake inner self of the reader. It appeals to heart, emotions. It appeals to heart and emotions. It makes the reader more sensitive. It awakes in the reader the dormant capabilities which differentiate a man from animals. Sublime works always heighten mental level of a reader and then flight of imagination. The lover of poetry with elevated thinking makes comparison between two worlds, the world that exists in his mind and the actual world in which he breathes. Then consequently, he chases acquisition of the better world. If he doesn't acquire it, he may make a little better the existing world. Therefore, evolution manifests through gradual change. It changes the reader individually, and individuals change the world. The major function of poetry is to instruct and bring positive changes in character. Poetry sprouts from the heart. It is the essence of feeling which germinate and grow into experience against the backdrop of social, political, economic, and cultural environment of the world to which the poet belongs. When these experiences get crystallized in words, they take shape in the form of poetry, irrespective of the medium chosen by a poet and a means of his expression. The content and the style of expression determine the quality of a poetic work and not the mere form. The sensitive mind, the sensitive mind, the sensitive mind of the poet does not accept barriers of time and place. The flight of imagination possesses a quality that enables him to oscillate between present and past and and present and future. Now I come to the skills, how good poetry may be written. No skill works in you if you are. No skill works if you are not an inborn poet. Skill can be acquired, but not the genuine inborn talent of the poet. If you are an inborn poet and you know the skill, you can surpass many around you who are simply innate but artless poets. It's a very long debate and needs a great deal of time to talk about it, but I give you a few tips to write good poetry. Number one, do not write on themes which are trodden, which are trampled. Often the poets take old themes and reproduce them, merely changing the diction. Such works doesn't get distinction as well as attraction. It is better not to write if you don't have a new theme. Number two, don't copy thought and diction of any other poet. Be always genuinely original. It paves your path to become recognized. Create you on path. Do not go where the path. Create your own path. You create your own path. Do not go where the path may lead you. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. Poetry is not report writing. It gives you a very apt independence and opportunity to use beautiful language. So choose the best words, phrases, and images. Besides, the poet must be aware of the use of the figure of speech like simile, metaphor, personification, alliteration, and irony, etc. These lend beauty to expression. Number 4, use common diction that a general reader can understand. None has time to consult dictionary. Even a great thought can be expressed with simple diction, like a thing of beauty is a joy forever. Thoughts are ours, but their end is not our own. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. These are the quotes. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. The only thing we have to fear the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. In these quotes, great thoughts have been expressed with very simple diction. Number 5, avoid high-sounded, cumbersome and weighty words. Sometimes they carry very little content, just like a glass of water in a water tank. It makes poetry ridiculous. Number 6, use only literary terms. Do not use words of other sciences and technologies. They can be used if indispensable. Besides, don't use mathematical symbols like beautiful and charming and like this. Don't use mathematical numbers like 1980, 2006, 2020, 24 are like 150. Embrace death in the battlefield. Besides, don't use chat language. Just I am fine. I am F and 9. I'm fine. Don't use this. How are you? H are you? We are using this. You are great. You are and we are 8. Great. We are using this. It is being done in poetry too. Such things spoil even a good piece of poetry. Number 7, the poetic expression must be convincing, always avoid exaggeration. It is very ridiculous if someone writes, she wept and shed a river of tears. It is exaggeration. Or she cried and the whole city thundered. It's also exaggeration. Number 8, try to write grammatically perfect, and you can do it with a little attention. Do not commit grammatical blunders. The use of poetic license doesn't allow you to execute a series of grammatical errors, and such a habit may spoil the whole work. Number 9, do with your poetic piece. This is very important that I'm going to narrate. Do with your poetic piece of work as a black mother bear does with her newly born pup. She is pained to see it black. He wants to make it white. He begins to scrub it with her tongue, and consequently, after a lot of scrubbing, The rough black pub gets splendid shining black. A good poet must do the same with the newly born poems. He should. Poems, newly born poems, poems are just like pubs, a poetry. The poet must scrub it again and again by refining its diction, phrases, till it becomes a magnum opus masterpiece. Number 10, if you are satisfied with your work and you don't get appreciation, never quit, move on. Time will come, your work will attract the readers. Share your poetry with friends and colleagues and teachers. Try to publish it in local and national newspapers and magazines. Contribute in college magazines. Read in concerts. Share in public media groups. In Facebook, there are thousands of groups which are dealing with poetry. Make your personal account on different poetry websites. They publish you free of cost. The readers see your work and they comment. Their feedback guide you in future. Their feedback will guide you in future. I recommend you the following the poetry websites for free publication. Here I have noted www.poemhunter.com. Poemhunter.com. Number 1. Number 2 is www.poetrysoup.com. They publish you free. www.poetrypoem.com. www.allpoetry.com. There are several others which can be found through the Google's research. In the end, I'm again very grateful to the organizers and wish you all good future, peace and prosperity, especially for India too. And I wish for all residents of the world best wishes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Rendition. It was a really beautiful rendition on giving tips about poetry writing, the functions of poetry, and how you can be a successful poet. Which are the platforms you can get your poems published for free? It was really great and enlightening, sir. There is a question. Student wants to know, sir.
Give my email to the students. My ID, on Facebook. They can send me their question. There are several poetry websites on which you can make your personal account. You can upload your poems, and when you upload your poems, there are thousands of readers will hit you, and they will also comment. And you will get guidance from out of their feedback, out of their. There will be a guideline for the students, and give my email. I shall send you to the students, and also give my Facebook ID. I shall individually guide them, and they are my sons, they are my daughters, and I have been working for Indian authors. I have worked and promoted so many Indian authors and poets. Even Jagdish Prakash, there are many, and I shall help them. I shall guide them.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, they just want to know about something that you have been talking today about. Eliot and Wordsworth both have defined poetry. So what is your opinion about their definition?
No. I don't disagree. Wordsworth says that poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feeling. It is output. He doesn't talk about inflow. There is inflow and then outflow. Inflow comes from the greater mind. our mind capture thoughts. They come from the greater mind that is living behind the universe. Then that thought goes to the heart. Then the heart send it to mind. Then mind send to heart. Then it gets settled, it ripens, then it needs expression. I say that it is not outflow before.
सेमिनार के बीच में कैसे तुम्हें डिस्टर्ब कर लेती हो?
Yeah. Poetry is both. We receive thoughts and then express themselves. Thoughts change into emotion. Wordsworth talks only about outflow, spontaneous, powerful spontaneous outflow, powerful spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. But there is inflow also. If your mind don't receive thought, you can't express it. It is my own experience. Give my email to young students and give them my Facebook ID, give them my email ID, and they must contact me and I shall guide them. They are my sons, they are my daughters. And if any one from colleague, and I tell you, just recently, a week ago, and I'm very thankful to India, OBS Publishing House and Reader's Choice magazine declared me legend poet of the millennium, and it is a very big honor for me, and I'm very grateful to India and Indian nation and Indian literary circle. And I have been recognized many times by India. So it is my duty. I'm working for the whole world. It is my duty to guide the generation, irrespective to their nation, their caste, their religion, and I'm doing it for the last, I think, 24 years.
Thank you very much, sir, once again. Like we
Thank
say,
you.
Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the whole world is our home. So you've been guiding people all across the countries, and that's very much appreciable. And once again, with that, we'll move on with our seminar. We have our next.
Whenever you invite me, I shall be here. Whenever
Thank
you
you so
invite.
much.
Okay, I shall be
It's our
here.
pleasure, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Heartiest thanks, gratitude to you.
Thank you so much.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Good
sir.
morning and welcome, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. The same to you.
Okay, I would like to introduce our next speaker, Associate Professor in Economics, Dr. Rakesh Kumar Singh from RDS College, here at Bihar University, Muzaffarpur.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Good morning. Am I
Good morning,
audible?
sir.
Yes.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, yes, yes.
I replied.
Hello.
I
Good
replied.
Yes,
Am I audible?
yes, sir, you are audible. I'll just give
Good
a short
morning to.
introduction to you.
Oh,
सर मैं थोड़ी सी आपकी शॉर्ट इंट्रोडक्शन दे देती हूँ, सभी लोग
दे
जान
दीजिए।
जाएंगे।
दे दीजिए।
जी। So our next speaker is Dr. Rakesh Kumar Singh from, he's an associate professor from PG Department of Economics, RDS College, here at Bihar University, Muzaffarpur. Sir has a long teaching experience, 22 years of teaching experience in UG and PG, and 5 years teaching experience in the UT classes of ISDC, Allahabad, and CMP Degree College, Allahabad, as a guest lecturer. He is the recipient of the Best Teacher Award and has been given the award by the Central Bank of India Artist College Muzaffarpur on 15th of August 2016. He also received the Best Paper Award given in IEA 101 Annual Conference 2018 for the title of the paper, Quality of Employment in the Era of Liberalization after the New Economic Policy of 1991. Sir has 36 publications to his credit, 29 of which are national and 7 international. He has written 3 chapters in 3 books. He has co-authored 1 book and he's the author of 2 books. And under him, 12 students have been awarded PhD degrees and 6 are undergoing their research. They are doing research under him. He's been the external examiner of a number of PhD theses in the universities of Bihar and UP. Sir has also worked in NIRD project Hyderabad, and he has also worked in the NUPSK New Delhi project. Sir has been the NSS program coordinator in the Bihar University for 3 years, the NSS program officer of RDS College for 4 years, and he has also served as the assistant controller of examination in RDS College for 9 years. He's been the course coordinator, orientation courses, and he's also been coordinator of online interdisciplinary refresher courses in social sciences conducted by HRDC, BRMU, Bihar. Sir has been the organizing secretary of National Seminar of several joint organizing secretary of Bihar Economic Association in collaboration with Indian Economic Association and that BRMU. There are n number of things, sir. So I'm just cutting it short and giving you a warm welcome. Please start your lecture, sir. We are much honored and have great pleasure in inviting you on this platform. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. First of all, I am giving thanks to organizing such a wonderful international seminar on exploring the nuance of skill enhancement in unleashing entrepreneurship. A lot of students of your college is also participating in this seminar. So, if you allow, I will deliver my lecture on Hindi. हेलो, हिंदी में बोल सकते हैं ना?
प्लीज सर, आप अपना लेक्चर।
हाँ, चूंकि ये ज्यादा बेनिफिशियल होगा हिंदी में, चूंकि ढेर सारे लोग हिंदी बेल्ट के होंगे, तो मैं शुरुआत कर रहा हूँ। आपका टॉपिक बहुत अच्छा था, इसलिए मैं आपको, रीतु वर्मा और शिल्पा भारती, इन तीनों को हृदय से धन्यवाद देता हूँ कि यह टॉपिक बहुत ही बर्निंग है और वर्तमान समय में जब हम ये कहते हैं कि सबका साथ सबका विकास, तो ऐसी स्थिति में स्किल इनहांसमेंट और अनलीजिंग एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण पहलू हो जाता है। जैसा कि हम लोग जानते थे, भारत में और विश्व में 2 महत्वपूर्ण आर्थिक समस्याएं हैं। पहली समस्या जो गरीबी की है और दूसरी समस्या अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट की है। दोनों ही समस्या विश्व में भी और भारत में भी बहुत गंभीर स्थिति में है और देश, विश्व के ढेर सारे देशों के आर्थिक विकास होने के बावजूद, भारत के आर्थिक विकास होने के बावजूद अभी भी आपके कुल जनसंख्या का 5वां भाग गरीबी रेखा के नीचे जीवन यापन करते हैं। गरीबी रेखा को परिभाषित करने के लिए भारत में भी और विश्व में भी तमाम तरह के इंडिकेटर्स को यूज किया गया है। वर्तमान समय में हम लोग जो है मल्टी डायमेंशनल पॉवर्टी इंडेक्स को यूज कर रहे हैं, जिसके अंतर्गत हम लोगों ने 12 इंडिकेटर्स को लिया है और इन इंडिकेटर्स के माध्यम से अभी भी विश्व की कुल जनसंख्या का 5वां भाग गरीबी रेखा के नीचे जीवन यापन कर रहे हैं। ऐसी भर है और वो अपने जीवन के इसलिए हम लोग को इस गरीबी की स्थिति से विश्व की जनसंख्या को और भारत की जनसंख्या को भी उभारना होगा। इसी के तहत हम लोग ने 1951 में प्लानिंग के तहत हम लोगों ने अपने भारत के आर्थिक विकास की शुरुआत की और इसके तहत हम लोगों ने 11 पंचवर्षीय योजनाओं को देखा है और उसके बाद जो है हमारा प्लानिंग कमीशन बाद में नीति आयोग में परिणत हो गया। इन 11 पंचवर्षीय योजनाओं में गरीबी महत्वपूर्ण मुद्दा और कैसे हम लोग गरीबी से बचे, इसके लिए हम लोग प्रयास करते रहे। जैसा कि हम लोग जानते हैं कि भारत एक सोशलिस्टिक पैटर्न ऑफ सोसाइटी हमारे प्रियम्बल में लिखा हुआ है, इसलिए चूंकि यह एक वेलफेयर स्टेट है और वेलफेयर स्टेट का सबसे महत्वपूर्ण उद्देश्य होता है कि अपने नागरिकों को सारी सुख सुविधा जो आर्थिक विकास से मिलने वाली जो सारी सुख सुविधाएं हैं उसको उपलब्ध कराएं। और इसी के तहत हमने अपने सभी पंचवर्षीय योजना में चूंकि गरीबी शुरू से आपके लिए एक आर्थिक समस्या के रूप में मौजूद रहा है, इसलिए इसको दूर करने का प्रयास किया गया। और इसी के तहत चूंकि गरीबी लोगों को एम्प्लॉयमेंट नहीं मिलता है, लोग बेरोजगार रहते हैं, ऐसी स्थिति में वो गरीबी का दंश झेलते हैं। इसीलिए तमाम तरह की पंचवर्षीय योजनाओं में रोजगार देने के लिए प्रयास किया गया। और जैसा कि आप जानते हैं कि तमाम तरह के रोजगार योजना जो गरीबी उन्मूलन से भी संबंधित था, जैसे कि मिनिमम नीड्स प्रोग्राम, जवाहर रोजगार योजना और तमाम तरह की मनरेगा और तमाम तरह की योजनाएं चली, जिससे कि बहुत हद तक हम लोग गरीबी दूर कर पाए और जो गरीबी का दर 60% और 50% के आसपास था वो घट के अभी 15% के और 20% के बीच में है। साथ ये सारा चीज जो है रोजगार के माध्यम से हुआ है, रोजगार संबंधी योजनाओं के माध्यम से हुआ है। और आपने ये भी देखा कि चूंकि शुरुआत में चूंकि आपके पास निजी क्षेत्र में उद्यमियों की कमी थी, इसीलिए सरकार उद्यमी बनकर और तमाम तरह के सरकारी क्षेत्र चलाया करते थे और आपके बजट का एक बड़ा भाग जो है सरकारी क्षेत्र के विकास करने में लगता था और आपके यहाँ तमाम तरह के सरकारी क्षेत्र स्थापित किए गए जिससे कि आर्थिक विकास हो। इसी के तहत रांची में HEC इसके अलावा इंडियन ऑयल, इसके अलावा कोल इंडिया लिमिटेड, साथ ही साथ सेल स्टील अथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडिया लिमिटेड, ये तमाम सरकारी क्षेत्र में कल कारखानाएं स्थापित किए गए। और साथ ही साथ कुछ निजी क्षेत्र के जो इंटरप्रेन्योरशिप थे, जैसे कि टाटा, बाटा, बिरला, ये तमाम जो है अपने भी उद्योग धंधे लगाए। और चूंकि सरकारी और निजी क्षेत्र दोनों शुरुआत में कदम से कदम मिलाकर कार्य करते थे, इसीलिए आपने शुरुआत में भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था को मिश्रित अर्थव्यवस्था कहा। लेकिन जैसे जैसे आपकी जनसंख्या, जब आप स्वतंत्र हुए थे तो 34 करोड़ थी, वो बढ़कर आज 140 करोड़ हो गया और आप अब विश्व के सबसे बड़े जनसंख्या वाले देश हो गए। ऐसी स्थिति में जो सरकार के खर्चे निजी क्षेत्र में रोजगार देने में, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलप करने में और तमाम जगह लगते थे, वो कम पड़ने लगे। इसीलिए आप जानते हैं कि 80 के बाद आपने लिबरलाइजेशन का कॉन्सेप्ट अपने अर्थव्यवस्था में लाया और 1991 में मनमोहन सिंह के नेतृत्व में आपने एलपीजी पॉलिसी को अपनाया। जैसा कि हम लोग जानते हैं, एलपीजी पॉलिसी जो है अपनाने के बाद हमारा देश भी ग्लोबल इकोनॉमी के रूप में उभरा और वर्तमान में हमारे जो है माननीय प्राइम मिनिस्टर कह रहे हैं कि अब जो है 1929 के बाद हम लोग विश्व के तीसरे बड़े अर्थव्यवस्था के रूप में उभरेंगे। और उनका जो नारा है, सबका साथ सबका विकास, इससे यह जो आपका टॉपिक है वह काफी मिलता जुलता है। शुरुआत में भारत के विकास में सरकारी क्षेत्र अग्रणी भूमिका निभाती थी। अब क्या है कि अब सरकारी क्षेत्र आपके आर्थिक विकास में गौण हो गया है, चूंकि और उस एक्सपेंडिचर को फुलफिल करने के लिए वो जो टैक्स लगाती है उससे फुलफिल नहीं हो रहा है। ऐसी स्थिति में वो उद्योग धंधों और उससे संबंधित जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है उसको डेवलपमेंट में वो पैसे नहीं लगा रही है और वो लोगों के उत्थान के लिए, गरीबी रेखा से ऊपर उठाने के लिए तमाम तरह के जो मिनिमम नीड्स प्रोग्राम है, जैसे रोटी, कपड़ा और आवास, तो रोटी के लिए उन्होंने जो है अपने यहाँ राइट्स टू फूड लॉ को पास कराया है। उसी तरह से कपड़ा और मकान के लिए भी तमाम तरह के सरकारी जो है इंसेंटिव्स मिल रहे हैं। उसके तहत बड़े पैमाने पे सरकारी पैसे का खर्च हो रहा है। ऐसी स्थिति में सरकार ने उद्योग धंधों और जो उससे मिलने वाली एम्प्लॉयमेंट है उसके लिए जो है वो स्किल डेवलपमेंट और इंटरप्रेन्योरशिप डेवलपमेंट की तरफ बहुत ज्यादा ध्यान दे रही है। जैसा कि आप जानते हैं, इंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में हम लोग विलेज इंटरप्रेन्योर से लेकर और मल्टीनेशनल कंपनीज, ये सब को इंक्लूड करते हैं। तो भारत में भी 1991 के बाद जब हमने ग्लोबलाइज इकोनॉमी बनाया तो ढेर सारे मल्टीनेशनल कंपनीज आए, जिसके माध्यम से एम्प्लॉयमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटी भी बढ़ा। जैसा कि हम लोग जानते हैं कि जो एम्प्लॉयमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटी की रेशियो है वो 93% रेशियो जो है अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर में है, और ओनली 7% जो है ऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर, जिसको हम लोग सरकारी क्षेत्र भी कहते हैं। इसीलिए अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर में इंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के डेवलपमेंट का बहुत ज्यादा स्कोप है। अब इसमें चूंकि छोटे व्यवसायी भी आते हैं, गांव लेवल के व्यवसायी भी आते हैं, और तमाम तरह के मल्टीनेशनल कंपनीज के डायरेक्टर भी आते हैं। इसीलिए सरकार ने इससे संबंधित जो नीति है उसको काफी फ्लेक्सिबल बनाया और दोनों को समाहित करने के लिए और इंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में जो लोग शामिल नहीं हुए थे उन लोगों को भी शामिल करने के लिए, उनके स्किल को डेवलप करने के लिए तमाम तरह के स्किल डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम चला रही है। आप सभी जानते हैं कि हमारे यहाँ महिलाओं की स्थिति बहुत दयनीय थी, और महिलाएं आज भी तमाम तरह के विमेन्स एम्पावरमेंट से संबंधित कार्यक्रम को चलाया गया है, फिर भी जो है उनका जो है रोजगार में योगदान काफी कम है। उसको बढ़ाने के लिए तमाम तरह के स्किल डेवलपमेंट ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम्स चलाए गए हैं। और जब हम कहते हैं सबका साथ सबका विकास, तो जब तक हमारे समाज की जो पिछड़ा हुआ वर्ग है उसमें महत्वपूर्ण स्थान महिलाओं, SC, ST, OBC, इन तमाम श्रेणी के लोगों का आता है, तो इन लोगों का जब तक हम समुचित विकास, इन लोग को जब तक हम रोजगार में नहीं ले आएंगे तब तक जो है देश का और विश्व का विकास नहीं हो सकता है। इसीलिए भारत सरकार, बिहार सरकार और विश्व का UNDP और तमाम तरह की जो संस्थाएं हैं वो प्रयास कर रही हैं कि हम जो है जो सेक्शन से, जिस सेक्शन से इंटरप्रेन्योरशिप डेवलप नहीं हुआ है, जैसे महिलाएं, SC, ST, OBC और तमाम, उस सेक्शन में भी इंटरप्रेन्योरशिप डेवलप करने के लिए तमाम तरह की ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम शुरू किया गया है। जैसा कि आप जानते हैं कि इसमें भारत में इंटरप्रेन्योरशिप डेवलपमेंट के लिए 22 मिनिस्ट्री को शामिल किया गया है, और सबसे पहले इसको डेवलप करने के लिए स्किल डेवलपमेंट जो प्रोग्राम शुरू किया गया वो 2009 में शुरू किया गया था, और उसके बाद जो है 2015 में 14-15 में फिर से इसको और इफेक्टिव बनाते हुए और बड़े पैमाने पे स्किल डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम्स चलाए जा रहे हैं, जिसमें छोटे छोटे महिलाओं को समूह मिलाकर और उनको वहाँ के लोकल, वोकल फॉर लोकल का जो कॉन्सेप्ट आया है, तो वहाँ पे जो उपलब्ध रॉ मटेरियल है, नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज है, उसके आधार पे उनको छोटे छोटे समूह में ग्रुप बनाकर इंटरप्रेन्योरशिप स्थापित करने के लिए प्रोत्साहन मिल रहा है। और बिहार में भी आप देखते हैं कि बिहार में जीविका दीदी का नाम आप सभी ने सुना होगा। वो छोटे छोटे महिलाओं का समूह है, और जहाँ पे जो चीज का एक्सपर्टाइज है, जैसे कि मधुबनी में मखाना मिलता है, मुजफ्फरपुर में लीची मिलता है, हाजीपुर में केला है, तो इससे संबंधित जो है छोटे छोटे उद्योग धंधे स्थापित करके और बड़े पैमाने पे लोगों को रोजगार मिल रहा है। और आप सभी जानते हैं कि जब रोजगार मिलता है तो लोगों का आय भी बढ़ता है, और हम लोग इकोनॉमिक्स में ये पढ़ते हैं कि जब आय बढ़ता है तो उससे कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन होता है और उसका फिर से री इन्वेस्टमेंट होता है। और ऐसी स्थिति में ये चक्र बन जाता है। यह चक्र जो है, जो विशस सर्किल ऑफ पॉवर्टी है, उसको तोड़ता है। तो इस तरह का चक्र छोटे छोटे इंटरप्रेन्योरशिप डेवलपमेंट करके, और जो विशेष करके महिलाएं जो टेलरिंग का काम, हाउसकीपिंग का काम और तमाम तरह के ये छोटे छोटे कार्य कर सकते हैं, सुजरी बनाना, पापड़ बनाना और इस तरह के चीज बनाना, उस सबका उस तरह के चीजों का ट्रेनिंग देकर और उनको एक्सपर्टाइज बनाया जा रहा है। और उनको बैंक के माध्यम से मुद्रा योजना के तहत उनको लोन मिलता है, और वो अब जो है इस स्थिति में आ गई है कि वो जॉब सीकर नहीं है, जॉब गिवर है। और अपने गांव की तमाम जो महिलाएं हैं जो बिलो पॉवर्टी लाइन रहती थी, उनको भी वो रोजगार देके उनके आय के स्तर को बढ़ा रही हैं। इसीलिए आपके देश में डोमेस्टिक सेविंग भी बढ़ा है और कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन भी बढ़ा है। इससे आपको विदेशों से जो फॉरेन कैपिटल आते थे या एड आते थे, उस पर डिपेंडेंसी आपका कम हुआ। वर्तमान समय में चूंकि हम लोग प्राइवेटाइजेशन के दौर से गुजर रहे हैं, इसलिए एम्प्लॉयमेंट और पॉवर्टी दूर करने के लिए अब जो है सरकारी तंत्र ही महत्वपूर्ण नहीं रह गया है। अब जो है प्राइवेट सेक्टर भी अपना अहम भूमिका निभा रहा है। और आप देखते हैं कि जितनी भी रोड बन रही है या रेलवे है या एयरपोर्ट है, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर जो जिसके बारे में कहा जाता था कि इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर केवल सरकारी क्षेत्र का ही चीज है, क्योंकि इसमें लॉन्ग गेस्टेशन पीरियड होता है, यानी इसमें बड़े पैमाने पे कैपिटल का इन्वेस्टमेंट होता है और उससे मिलने वाली रिटर्न्स जो है लॉन्ग रन में होता है। इसलिए इस जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है उसमें पहले जो है केवल सरकारी क्षेत्र का ही पार्टिसिपेशन होता था। अब आप क्या देख रहे हैं कि सारा जगह, सारे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर क्षेत्र में जो है पीपीपी मोड पे, पब्लिक प्राइवेट पार्टनरशिप मोड पे काम हो रहे हैं और बड़े पैमाने पे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का डेवलपमेंट हो रहा है, जिससे इंडस्ट्री और इंटरप्रेन्योरशिप इस्टेब्लिश होने में आसानी होती है। इसीलिए वर्तमान समय में जो प्राइवेट इंटरप्रेन्योरशिप है, वो रोजगार देने में एक महत्वपूर्ण पहलू हो गए हैं और काफी बढ़ चढ़ के आगे आ रहे हैं। इनको सरकार तमाम तरह की इंसेंटिव दे रही है। आप सभी जानते हैं कि हमने जो लिबरलाइजेशन का जो पॉलिसी अपनाया, उसमें इस तरह के प्राइवेट इंटरप्रेन्योर्स को क्लियरेंस देने के लिए सिंगल विंडो सिस्टम अपनाया, जिसके तहत जो है, जो पहले महीनों में इनको इंडस्ट्री स्थापित करने के लिए क्लियरेंस मिलता था, वो अब 1 घंटा में मिल जाता है। इसके अलावा हम लोग देख रहे हैं कि कोरोना के बाद जो इकोनॉमी में परिवर्तन आया है, वो अब हम लोग सारा चीज ऑनलाइन कर रहे हैं। इसलिए ऑनलाइन इकोनॉमी से संबंधित जो नए नए टेक्निक्स हैं, जो इनोवेशंस हैं, वो सारे डेवलप हो रहे हैं। इसीलिए अब जो है इनोवेटिव इंटरप्रेन्योरशिप का जमाना है और इसके लिए सरकार जो है बड़े पैमाने पे इनको इंसेंटिव्स दे रही हैं। और इससे प्राइवेट सेक्टर में भी आप देखती थी, पहले जो है लोग जो है प्राइवेट इंटरप्रेन्योर्स जो है उंगली पे गिने हुए 5 थे, टाटा, बाटा, बिरला। वर्तमान समय में ऐसे ऐसे भारत में इंटरप्रेन्योर्स की संख्या काफी बढ़ गई है और तमाम तरह की कंपनियां स्थापित हो रही हैं, जिसमें लोगों को रोजगार मिल रहा है और रोजगार मिलने से लोगों का आय बढ़ रहा है और जो आपकी जनसंख्या का एक बड़ा भाग पोवर्टी लेवल के नीचे जीवन यापन कर रहा था, अब जो है वो जो मल्टी डायमेंशनल पोवर्टी इंडेक्स के आने के बाद, जिसमें कि कई नए नए इंडिकेटर्स जुड़े हैं जो पहले नहीं थे। पहले हम लोग केवल ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट इंडेक्स के माध्यम से ही पोवर्टी को और डेवलपमेंट को माप लेते थे। अब जो है इन 12 इंडिकेटर्स के आने के बावजूद, जिसमें जो है वेलनेस, हैप्पीनेस और तमाम तरह के इंडिकेटर्स भी हैं, फिर भी हमारा जनसंख्या का एक बहुत छोटा सा भाग बिलो पॉवर्टी लाइन के नीचे जी रही हैं। और जो बेसिक नीड्स है, आप एजुकेशन का ही रेशियो लीजिए, हेल्थ का रेशियो लीजिए, तो ये सब काफी इम्प्रूव किया है। ये सारे चीज क्यों इम्प्रूव कर रहा है, लोगों का लिविंग स्टैंडर्ड क्यों ऊंचा हो रहा है भारत के संदर्भ में और विश्व में, तो इसके पीछे वही इनोवेटिव इंटरप्रेन्योरशिप है जो पहले मेन स्ट्रीम में नहीं आए थे, अब आ गए हैं। और चूंकि जनसंख्या बहुत बड़ी समस्या है और एजुकेशन के साथ साथ जनसंख्या का जो ग्रोथ रेट है वो धीरे धीरे कम हो रहा है, लेकिन हम लोग उम्मीद कर सकते हैं कि जब से प्राइवेट सेक्टर का पार्टिसिपेशन इनोवेटिव इंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में हुआ है, महिलाओं का पार्टिसिपेशन इसमें हुआ है और वीकर सेक्शन का पार्टिसिपेशन इसमें हुआ है, तब से अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट का और पॉवर्टी का रेशियो घटा है। हम उम्मीद कर सकते हैं कि भविष्य में भारत और विश्व, ये दोनों जो है, हम लोग जो स्किल इन्हांसमेंट से संबंधित जो प्रोग्राम चला रहे हैं, उसके तहत इनोवेटिव इंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के आने के बाद, प्राइवेट इंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के आने के बाद, महिलाओं का योगदान के बाद इसमें कमी आएगी और भारत और विश्व का काफी बड़े पैमाने पे आर्थिक विकास होगा और यह विश्व के विकसित देश के रूप में जो मोदी जी का सपना है वो सफल हो। इन्हीं बातों के साथ मैं अपने वाणी पे विराम देता हूं। धन्यवाद। हेलो हेलो,
Yes, sir.
प्रश्न किसी को कोई पूछना है तो पूछे।
हाँ सर, क्वेश्चन तो आया है सर।
हाँ।
किसी बच्चे ने सवाल किया है, व्हाट विल बी योर सजेशन टू द गवर्नमेंट टू रिमूव पॉवर्टी फ्रॉम इंडिया? गवर्नमेंट को आप क्या सजेशन देंगे इंडिया से पॉवर्टी रिमूव करने के लिए?
पॉवर्टी को रिमूव करने के लिए जो अभी मैंने बताया कि जो अनलीजिंग ऑफ इंटरप्रेन्योरशिप है, मतलब कि जो लोग इंटरप्रेन्योरशिप नहीं बने हैं, जो जॉब सीकर के लाइन में है, वो जॉब गिवर बन जाएंगे इंटरप्रेन्योरशिप बन के, तो अपने आप जो है अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट खत्म हो जाएगा और अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट के खत्म होते ही पॉवर्टी भी खत्म हो जाएगा। ठीक है,
सही बात।
और कोई प्रश्न है?
एनी अदर क्वेश्चंस? ऐसा तो सब नहीं दिख रहा है चैट बॉक्स पे। I would like to thank you, sir, for such a wonderful rendition. आपने इतने अच्छे तरीके से समझाया, इतना ज्ञानवर्धक सारी बातें बताई कि कैसे सरकार ने इतनी सारी ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम्स चलाए हैं अलग अलग कैटेगरीज के लिए, एससी हो, एसटी हो या विमेन एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप हो, और सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप के माध्यम से कैसे कितना बड़ा चेंज आया है। जो लो इनकम ग्रुप के लोग थे वो लोग भी एंटरप्राइजिंग में आ गए हैं और उन्होंने अपना कंट्रीब्यूशन दिया है इकोनॉमी को डेवलप करने। और जो जब से वो ग्लोबल लिबरलाइजेशन आया है और गवर्नमेंट ने अच्छी इंसेंटिव्स दिए हैं, तो एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को बहुत ज्यादा एनकरेजमेंट मिला है कि वो आकर के अपना कुछ रिस्क लें, कुछ अपना एंटरप्राइज बनाएं और अपनी जो है इकोनॉमी में Sir, it was a really very engrossing and enriching lecture. Thank you very much, sir. और इसके साथ में अभी जो हमारे participants हैं, I want to just inform them that we are going for a 5 minute break. 5 मिनट के बाद हम लोग पुनः मिलेंगे. Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू मैम. पांच मिनट के बाद तो अब मेरी जरूरत नहीं होगी मैडम.
हाँ सर, जी सर, नेक्स्ट स्पीकर की बारी होगी. आपको बहुत धन्यवाद सर.
हाँ तो मैं फिर जाऊं क्लास लेने.
जी सर, जाए सर.
ओके ठीक
थैंक यू.
ठीक.
I would just like to convey this message, participants, that feedback form will be given today. आज फिर से feedback form जाएगा. आप सब लोग इसको एकदम necessarily भर लेंगे, बहुत जरूरी है. पिछले दिन जो है कुछ कम पार्टिसिपेंट्स ही भरे थे, तो आज आप लोग को ध्यान देना है कि हर व्यक्ति जो है इस फीडबैक फॉर्म को जरूर भरे.
कार्यक्रम का ऐसे स्टार्ट कर रविवार के चीजें हो.
क्या नहीं पीती पी लेंगे.
अच्छा समय पानियो लाने वाला नहीं। कर भी दीजिए। अच्छा
अभी चाय खत्म है, लाना पड़ेगा। ये दिल को जैसा आसन नहीं बुझे और जैसे नहीं बना दीजिए।
Have with us here Dr. Shivendra Rahul, an eminent speaker, and it's my proud pleasure to welcome you, sir, on this platform at our seminar. Shivendra Rahul is an MA PhD, serves as an assistant in English and Communication at Maharashtra National Law University. Dr. Rahul is an acclaimed educator renowned for his ability to impart interpersonal skills for healthcare. As an assistant professor of English communication for 10 years of experience, Dr. Rahul has mastery over communication techniques, including adequacy, communicating with diverse patients, conflict resolution, crisis communication, and fostering interprofessional collaboration. His research on emotional intelligence and integrated technology for experiential learning informs the design of impactful training programs. In addition to his academic role, he frequently delivers teachers and corporate training programs and conferences focused on professional skills. Rahul also frequently advises major corporations and underscoring real-world expertise, navigating complex challenges. Blending scholarly expertise with dynamic teaching methods and an insider's view, Dr. Shivendra Rahul is unique in trying to empower persons in the business skills of mindful communication, managing conflicts, stress, and cultivating quality and passionate. Sir, I heartily welcome you here on this platform. Kindly deliver your lecture.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for that generous introduction. I'll just try to share my file. Let me just see if I'm able to share my file. Just a moment, please. Just a moment. I am finding difficult to share my file. Just give me a moment. I think yes now. Is my screen visible now?
Yes, sir.
All right. So thank you organizers for giving me this opportunity to share my views on mastering effective communication and pitching skills for entrepreneurial success. So my introduction has already been given, so I'll straight away move to my topic, which I wish to discuss. So idea is that how effective communication and the pitching skills can actually lend a helping hand in getting this success in the entrepreneurial world. So let us understand what is the role of communication. So mastering effective communication and pitching skills is crucial for entrepreneurial success. So this presentation is going to give you a kind of some steps which will help you to captivate and persuade your audience. So first point that I wish to discuss about is understanding your audience. So when you are dealing with, for instance, if somebody is trying to pitch for a product, or somebody is trying to talk about the product of selling of the product, you need to understand your target audience. So conduct through market research. So market research is very crucial. So identify your target audience demographics, psychographics, and buying behaviors to tailor your pitch effectively. For instance, if I want to sell my product, I will have to understand whether my product is good, whether I have the buyers from the urban area or rural area. So understanding the consumer behavior, understanding what product that they are looking for, and demographic, which is known as the study of population. So if you understand where exactly my product is going, for instance, if I talk about the e-commerce market, e-commerce sector, these days we have slowly and gradually we are getting the reach in the rural market also. But in urban market, the companies like e-commerce companies like Amazon, Flipkart, and other companies, they are doing a lot of extensive research where they understand their audience, what exactly do they want. One classic example that comes to my mind is about Blinkit. So in most of the market cities, you can say metropolitan cities, in most of the metropolitan cities, now Blinkit, which is again the parent company Zomato, now they are running this business in which they deliver, they promise to deliver the products within 10 to 15 minutes at your doorstep. Now, in order to deliver those products within 10-15 minutes, which I find really amazing that you just order and it will be delivered to you. So they must have done a lot of market research that what exactly the urban population is looking for. And slowly and gradually, they are trying to extend this facility. They are trying to extend this, this particular facility to the other parts of India, which may not qualify to be a metro city or maybe the satellite towns of the metro cities. So this market research is very important and very crucial as far as your product is concerned, or what kind of service do you wish to start. So any kind of startup that you wish to start, first thing that thorough research is required. Then you can see the example that I'm displaying on my screen. So research consumer trends, competitor analysis, and market size of the health wellness product to refine your pitch for investors. Other thing that you should keep in mind, I was giving you the example of Blinkit. Then you can see there is a competitor, which is Zepto. So Zepto is also running on the same model, in which they promise that we will be delivering your product in 8 minutes. So the other competitor is trying to say that we will be delivering your products in 8 minutes. Such kind of competition is always there, where we will have to understand the cities like Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, Hyderabad, where time is actually money. So people will certainly opt for your service or your startup if you understand and you do your market research properly. So first point is conduct thorough market research in which you understand the consumer behavior. Then craft a compelling story. So for instance, if you are starting a startup or you are going for some products selling, upselling, so you should have a compelling story. So structure your pitch as a narrative. The pitch that you are speaking in front of the investor, it should be a compelling one. So create an engaging story with a clear beginning, middle, and end to captivate audience. I'm sure these days we see this Shark Tank, and you have seen how people come and how they express their opinion. even the simplest idea can fetch you the investment. But even if your idea is innovative and you are not able to put it in a story form, then the investors may not be that interested in your product. So Shark Tank India is again a classic example where you can see, and those who are actually want to start such business, they are looking forward to it. They must watch what kind of pitching skills that they use while they are talking about their product. So your pitch can be your narrative. Your narrative should be a compelling one. While you are pitching your product, while you are pitching your plan, it should have proper opening, it should have a proper middle, and a captivating ending also, so that investor or maybe your audience, those who are your target audience, consumers, they should understand what actually you are focusing on. Example there, what we have here is Fit Connect. So imagine a world where staying fit is as easy as tapping your smartphone. Our app Fit Connect is the solution. For instance, if somebody wants to start a startup which talks about the fitness, so such kind of tagline, imagine a world where staying fit is as easy as tapping your smartphone. Nobody knew, I mean, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, nobody could even think that the tender coconut water or the milk, companies like Country Delight and all, though Country Delight's service is not applicable throughout the India, but in some of the major cities, they are serving. So fresh milk, tender coconut water, such things are delivered to you within, I'll say, like lightning speed. You order it and it will be delivered to you. How does it happen? Because they are understanding the consumer behavior, they are understanding the consumer pattern, and of course, when they need investors also. For instance, Tata is very interested. Tata is quite interested to invest in startups. But just in case if you are approaching the Tata Group, they need a compelling story. They need to believe in your sustainable business model so that they can they can invest in your venture. So I gave you one example of Fit Connect. Now, another point that I wish to discuss here is the clarity is the key. Now, while you are preparing your sales pitch or while you are making your narrative or pitch, you should keep in mind simplicity is the key. Keep your language simple, straightforward language that you should keep. Avoid any kind of industry jargon, too much of technical terms, which may ultimately confuse your audience, ensuring clarity in your pitch. For instance, if you are engaging your audience or maybe your investor, whatever I'm telling you is applicable both ways. Either you are approaching your consumers directly, or you are looking for some kind of investment from these investment companies like Tata and Birlas, if you want them. So clarity is the key. What I've observed is that these companies, these investors, basically, they will not give you enough time to present your thoughts. Sometimes they may even give you hardly they can give you 5 minutes. So within 5 minutes, you will have to express your business idea. You will have to produce it in a compelling manner so that they get convinced that this idea is sustainable. I repeat the word sustainable because these days, any business which is not working on sustainable model, that is bound to be a failure. That is bound to be a failure. One of the examples that I wish to discuss here is about the Snapdeal. Way back in 2010 and 2012, I realized that Snapdeal was, it was like booming like anything. It was on its peak, zenith. But the discount that they used to give, it was not sustainable. And of course, there were other reasons also that I don't wish to get into that. Lot of politics was also involved, and those who were promoting the products, and that is not our concern as of now today. But the failure of Snapdeal was also one of the reasons that they could not run their business on sustainable model. So if you are giving a lot of giveaways, you are giving a lot of discount, so that becomes a problem through which you are not able to give the salaries of the employees. So any business that has to run, that has to be on sustainable model. So clarity is the key. One example that I am displaying on my screen, you can see. So when you are keeping your language simple and short, the investors are too interested to listen to you. our platform leverages AI-driven algorithms. Say, instead of saying our platform leverages AI-driven algorithms, you can say our app uses advanced technology to personalize your fitness plan. So I'm giving you the example related to the fitness app that I just told you. Read the first line. First line looks little difficult, too technologically driven. So maybe an average consumer or maybe an average investor may not understand how AI algorithm works. However, if you simplify it, if you say like this, that my application, the application for which I am pitching in, that uses a lot of advanced technology to personalize your fitness plan. So you can see the stark difference between the first line and the second line. So the bottom line is that if you are using straightforward language, simple language, that is going to appeal to the average audience and sometimes to the investors also. So second key point is that you use the language which is simple and to the point. Then another important aspect is that using visual aids effectively. It is said a picture is worth 1,000 words. So if you are putting some, while you are pitching in or while you are giving your sales presentation, make sure you use the visual aids effectively. So incorporate high quality visuals. Nowadays, we have vector images, we have high definition HD images, 4K images. So use such images as far as the quality is concerned. Second point is that while you are putting some key points, try to put some impactful visuals so that people can memorize it. See, when you are giving a sales pitch, people may forget what you are pitching in. But sometimes people may remember what actually you displayed. So image also played an important role. And these days, with the help of AI, artificial intelligence, and there are a lot of tools available which will help you to get the license-free images, which is high quality HD images, 4K images that you can easily use, and you need not even pay a single penny for getting such images. You just need to be a little smart to procure those images. Using a little bit of smart work is going to help you in that. So vector images, 4K images, HD images, especially which is being generated by AI, and that is primarily license free. So there will not be any copyright infringements, and such problems will not arise if you use such copyright free images, which has free licensing. So such things you can keep in mind. So the example that you can see what I was explaining here is that you use your slides with infographics, product demonstrations, customer testimonial videos to strengthen your pitch. You must have seen these days what people do, because there were a lot of complaints coming that the websites like Amazon, e-commerce websites like Amazon and Flipkart, they have a lot of paid reviews. So what they have started now is that some e-commerce companies, what they are doing, they are taking the video testimonials of the consumers or customers. Now, of course, there could be a probability of manipulating that also. However, anything which is infographically available, in which people are speaking or that is visually available, psychology says that is more appealing. So that you can utilize while you are making your sales pitch or while you are trying to pitch in for investors. So today's session, I'm talking about both ways. Either you are targeting directly to your consumer base or you are targeting your investors. So both ways, these strategies are applicable. Let's move ahead. Practice, practice, and practice, especially for the somebody who's starting a startup and those who are newbies. This is an advice for newbies, those who are starting. A lot of startups fail because you try to approach people, you try to approach your investors, and then you are not confident enough what you are pitching in. Shark Tank India is a classic example. I'm repeating this, and if you watch those episodes, you will understand how that idea works. So before you actually go for pitching in, practice, practice, and practice. So rehearse multiple times. because the investors or sometimes the business partners, they may ask you n number of questions. So you can practice your pitch in front of a live audience through video recordings to refine your delivery and timing. Okay. And if not, if you are not having the access to the live audience, what you can do is that you can record yourself, or you stand before the mirror and practice and observe your body language, the way you are speaking, whether while you are speaking, you are too stressed, or actually your voice modulation is going properly or not. So practice is also the key. Practice makes the man perfect. So while you go for pitching in, make sure you practice well in front of the mirror, camera, or maybe you video record yourself. And if you have some, you can ask people to join you. You can have some kind of mock practice you can do before you actually go and present your sales idea. So these are some of the points that you can keep in mind. Then practice part we have heard. Let's see other things. Engage with passion. When I say engaging with passion, any product, any service that you wish to launch, any kind of startup that you wish to start, you need to understand, if you try old methods, simply go pitching in the plain manner, nobody is interested to listen to you, because plethora of products are already available in the market. You talk about, you see, Ola had the market share, biggest market share. Then Uber also came. Then then Rapido also came. Anyway, a lot of competition is there in the market. Simply, you can see in the e-commerce sector also. Major players are Amazon and Flipkart, but we have small players also. Only thing, players like Meesho and all, there are other players also. So we will have to keep this thing in mind. Any idea in which the passion is missing, that is bound to be a failure. Okay. I still remember a wonderful quote by Henry Ford, the founder of Ford Motor Company. So back in those 1920s and 30s, the mass production was not so popular, and the Ford Motor Companies initiated this idea of conveyor and mass production. So Henry Ford always used to say to his men or to employees that any business which makes only money is a poor business. And so what it means? It means any business which is primarily targeting only on making money, no customer service, no passion, that is bound to be a failure. So you have seen companies like mobile phones like Lava, or one more company that I will talk about, Intex Mobile, or you can talk about, there were so many mobile phone companies. They started with a boom, but the passion was missing. Customer service was missing. Because of that, the passion was missing. They could make money once in a while, but ultimately we will have to work in a sustainable model where our customer service is of the paramount importance. So the important point is that engage with passion. Any work that you undertake, your passion should be there. So when I say passion, what does it mean? Share your personal connection. Express your personal connection to the problem that you are solving and your unwavering belief in your solution to engage your audience. I still remember, however, that idea did not get the success, but Tata was a big group. I still remember when Tata narrated a personal story that when he was passing by, he observed a lower middle class family. They were using a scooter, and there were 3-4 people on that scooter. So one wife, 2 kids, a person was riding the scooter. That time he realized that even the lower middle class people, can they think of buying a new car within 1 lakh rupee? However, the idea was not that success in the beginning because of other reasons, because the marketing, and the Tata Group later admitted, only thing that we went wrong is that the marketing part, we marketed this car as cheap car. We would have used the word economical. So I teach communication, and while teaching communication, I generally say your words play an important role. Words will decide how your marketing strategies will flourish or not, and whether it will flourish or not. So choose your words wisely, and along with passion, it comes. So narrate a personal story. So you can see the example. I'm just giving you the example from that perspective of that fitness app that I'm talking about right from the beginning. So as a former athlete, I struggled with finding the right fitness routine until I discovered active. So you ask maybe these days people are Neeraj Chopra to do their advertisement. So if your budget allows, you ask it. For instance, if you're launching a health product, so you ask a doctor or maybe an athlete or a health professional. So such kind of passionate personal remark, personal stories will always help the people to connect. One more example that I wish to give you before I move ahead. Have you noticed when Patanjali promotes his product? I'm talking about Swami Ramdev's product company Patanjali. Of course, Acharya Balkrishna is leading that company formally. So have you noticed thing when they promote their this desi ghee, what they promote? What is the tagline? Anybody would like to comment on that? Anyone from the audience? I'll give you one passionate statement that they give, and this concept will be clear right away. Has anybody watched that commercial advertisement in which they promote their desi ghee with a proper tagline? Exactly. So Ravi Kumar is writing, गाय माता को कत्ल खाने जाने से बचाएं. See, now you see the passion and see the marketing strategy. Now they know this fact, especially in the Hindi heartland, or they call it cow belt. Everybody knows that we consider cow as a sacred. We consider cow sacred. Now he is appealing you emotionally. There was a lot of debate in my department where people were saying that he should rather focus on quality of the product. You should buy the desi ghee that I am selling you on the quality parameters. But he's going extra mile ahead. So quality he may promote through the advertisement, maybe the strap that they put on the ghee cover. But they add one emotional or passionate statement that पतंजलि का घी अपनाएं और गौ माता को कत्ल खाने जाने से बचाएं. You exactly hit where it hurts. They know the public sentiment. Especially in the Hindi heartland, cow belt, people consider cow as sacred animal. So even if somebody does not want to consume ghee, and if he's emotionally attached with cow, okay, let's go buy Babaji's product, because Babaji is at least helping that a cow should not go to the slaughterhouse. So basically you are buying that product so that a cow will not go to the slaughterhouse. So these are, whether it is ethical or not ethical, that I leave it to you. But these are the marketing strategies which work, in which passion, emotion plays an important role. Personal connect. And Patanjali itself is a case study. Patanjali's products are case study in which you must have seen how they use the personal connect to to market their products. So another case study that I discussed in front of you. Then what we have here is that handle objects gracefully. What does it mean? So anticipate potential concern. If you are into such line, if you are starting a startup, you should be a kind of, in Hindi we call it Jyotshi. आपको थोड़ा सा ज्योतिषी की तरह behave करना पड़ेगा. You will have to act like an astrologer, where research will help you to understand the potential concerns also. Not everything will fall into the right place. So you should be, a person should be able to anticipate what could be the potential concerns. Okay. So be prepared with well-researched responses to address any objections or concerns raised during the pitch. If you are pitching to your investors may ask n number of questions. They can ask you n number of questions. One example that I can see, that you can see on my screen, Data privacy. As they say, data is the new gold. Data is the new gold. You raised a valid point about data privacy. Our app employs industry-leading encryption protocols to ensure user and information remains secure. So for instance, if you are pitching in for your any application, health and wellness application. Now, the first question your investor may ask you, rest everything seems fine. We are ready to invest money into that also. But what about, since I teach in a law university, I can tell you about the legal implication, and data privacy is of the paramount importance, because your privacy, Honorable Supreme Court of India has said that your data privacy or your privacy is a fundamental right now. So the first question that the investors may ask, what exactly are you doing for data privacy? So such questions, you should be able to anticipate that it is bound to come. The investor will ask. Now you can give this reply that our application follows double encryption. It is end-to-end encrypted, and we make sure the data that we collect from our users or consumers, that is safe and secure, and we never leak. We make sure that there is no data breach of our consumers. So such kind of, and then you will have to give them some technology information also, that what kind of security layer that you are using, whether your website is HTTPS. So HTTPS, here S is another secured layer. So whether payment gateway is secured or not. So such things, such potential questions and you should be able to handle it gracefully by providing the information beforehand. So such things that you should keep in mind. Let's move ahead. So highlight unique value proposition. You must have heard about USP. I'm talking about UVP. So what is that? Unique value proposition. So clearly articulate unique features when you are pitching in for product. Highlight what makes your product or service superior to existing solutions to demonstrate its unique value proposition. I gave you the example of Blinkit. What is the USP of Blinkit? There are so many apps. Flipkart can deliver groceries. Amazon can deliver groceries. Your local vegetable seller can deliver groceries. Lalaji can deliver groceries. So applications like Blinkit and Zepto more unique. Value proposition in that. Anybody? The unique value that such applications are adding. I mean, anybody can ask me a question. For instance, I am an investor. You are pitching me that I am starting an app like Blinkit. You should invest money in that. But why should I invest? There are so many apps available. What is so unique? Anyone would like to comment on that? Why somebody will invest in my product or my application? See, you will have to do something that nobody is doing it. This world is too competitive and it's a fast moving world. If you are not doing something unique, somebody else will do it, and ultimately it's failure. Okay, you have seen one case study that I was discussing with my students a couple of days ago. I'm sure you all must be knowing, somewhere around 2005 and 6, Nokia mobiles had the biggest market share in India, and Nokia was so proud, never thought of innovation. That time they were working on Symbian platform. Now that time Samsung took the lead and they started making mobile phones on Android platform. And Nokia never learned a lesson. Since Nokia never learned the lesson, the result is right now here in front of you. I repeat, if your business idea, your app, whatever you are selling in the market or whatever consumer base that you wish to develop, if it is not moving with the time, if it is not unique, the idea is not sustainable. So whenever you are pitching in, make sure you tell it to your investors what exactly the new value addition that you are doing. I asked a question since nobody replied. Yes, Anjali has replied. Anjali has written lesser time for delivery by Blinkit in comparison to Amazon and Flipkart. Wonderful, wonderful. Now, if Anjali is pitching in, for instance, Anjali is starting such app and she is approaching me. So I will ask, Amazon is there, Flipkart is there. Why will somebody buy from your app? She is saying that my app will deliver groceries in 10 minutes. Now that is my unique value proposition, because Reliance or you talk about Flipkart, Amazon groceries, or any other local grocery shop that you can think of. You talk about Amazon or you talk about Big Basket also. These days, people prefer Big Basket also. So Big Basket, you order if you order in the morning, you get it by evening. But Blinkit or Zepto is delivering it in 10 minutes. So that is your unique value proposition. Or you can say, this is your UVP. That is the reason people are trying to invest in you. Then you will have to, let's move and see other factors also. Use persuasive language while you are pitching in for your sales or your investors. Incorporate persuasive techniques. The persuasion is another topic for which I need another complete session for persuasion. But persuasion, if I have to simplify it, you are using your articulatory skills, your communicative skills, in order to make person believe that your product is the best. In a funny language, we generally say that you are trying to sell you are trying to sell pen to a person who doesn't even know how to write. That is the beauty of a persuasive language. So incorporate persuasive techniques like scarcity, social proof. Now, what does it mean? Now, try to invest in or try to utilize or try to make an idea in which nobody has worked so far. So Blinkit is an exception in which nobody thought that it's the product, the bread that you order, the jam that you order. These days in metro cities, when it is outside, nobody's willing to go out, and you order, and by the time you keep the phone and you wait, somebody's going to ring your doorbell. So such things it makes the difference. So while you are pitching in, make sure your language is persuasive. You give the social proof. When I say social proof, it means a lot of people, testimonials that you can display, and emotion to motivate. I gave you the Patanjali example. Whether it is ethical or not ethical, that I leave it to you. But yes, smart people work like that. And so this is how you persuade your audience. Another persuasion example I can give you. Look at Tata. It's not like that Tata is making the salt only, but Tata is very smart enough. They made Desh Ka Namak, Tata salt. Now, whenever you go to buy salt, generally first thing that comes to your mind is Tata salt, Desh Ka Namak. But there are other market players also. Captain Cook, even Nirma is also making salt. Nirma is known for surf, but Nirma also makes. Okay. Now there are other brands also. The first thing that comes to your mind while you look for a salt is Tata, because Tata has marketed it well. They have used the persuasive language. Desh Ka Namak. So that means you, and you know, in our tradition, namak, aapne kisi ka namak khaya hai. Iska kya relevance hota hai? What does it signify? That means you remain loyal. So indirectly, Tata is trying to promote that if you are a consumer, if you are consuming Tata salt, you are being loyal to your nation. So these are some smart techniques, emotions that they play. Or you see Cadbury also. Cadbury being a British company, okay? Now they have actually captured the Raksha Bandhan festival. I don't remember that how many times do we go to buy sweets from a local vendor these days. Cadbury celebration, even Diwali also. So you will have to understand your persuasion. Communication is everything. You go to any field, if you know how to play smart with words, your articulatory skills, your communicative skills, such things can simply do magic. So social proof, you can see the example that I have displayed here. Join the thousands of satisfied customers who have transformed their lives with Fit Connect. I'm giving that same example which I started right in the beginning. Now, this word plays an important role when you say join the thousands of satisfied customers. So one fine day, when you open if you are downloading this app from Google Play Store, so first thing that you check these days, how many downloads are there? And such downloads give you a kind of faith. So 1 million downloads. That means 1 million consumer base is there. So this is known as social proof. I can give you my example. I order my mother is diabetic, so I order medicines for her through application that is known as, there are multiple apps, Tata 1mg and all those apps are available. So I still remember when I ordered it for the first time, maybe 2.5 years ago, I was a little skeptical that can medicines be sold like that? Because I had a traditional idea that I go to the medical store, I show the prescription, and that fellow will give me some medicine, and then I ask for any discount that you can give me. But the applications like PharmEasy, 1mg, NetMeds, they have made the life seamless. They have made the experience seamless. So and if you take the Plus membership, you order in the morning, within 2 hours, the medicines are being delivered. And I'm staying in some different city, and it gets delivered to my mother with like in a blink of eyesight. So such things. But in the beginning, I was too skeptical whether they are giving the right medicine, whether they are giving the original medicines or not. But over the period of time, when I saw that 1 million people have downloaded, there is a good consumer base, that gives a faith. This is known as social proof. So when you are promoting your product, when you are pitching in for sales, or trying to convince the customers, or trying to convince your investors, always show the social proof also that these many people trust our product. So Anjali has written, also when we say about iodized salt, it's always Tata salt which comes first in the mind, and the only one. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. So you can say Tata has monopoly on especially on this. If I talk about the salt, I mean, I don't know whether Captain Cook brand is available or not. Mother's Pride and this there are other brands also available. See, I'm finding it difficult to think of other brands which sells salt. I'm literally finding it difficult to think. This is how the marketing techniques, this is how your persuasive skills work, where you completely rule the market. So let's move to the another slide. Tailor your pitch. Adapt your pitch to the specific audience for situation. For example, emphasize different aspects for investors versus potential customers. That something that I'm telling you right from the beginning. If you are speaking to customer, your pitch should be different. So your pitch should be different. If you are investing it to the investors, your pitch different, because investors are actually the stakeholders in your business, consumer stakeholders, but indirect stakeholders. So yes, so tailor your pitch accordingly wherever you are pitching in. Then another important point is that close with a call to action. As I told you, the opening is important. In English, we say, well begun is half done. Similarly, in between, you talked about the product description and everything. Closing with a call to action. Your last words, last words can carry the lasting impression. So end with a clear call to action. So when I say this, what does it mean? It means end your pitch with a clear and compelling call to action. Example, Join us in this exciting venture by investing in our company today. So after you told each and everything about your company, your business idea, your sustainable model, last compelling line, which people may remember, okay, last line could be your lasting impression. You are saying, join us, join us in this exciting venture by investing in our company today. So make sure your closing is also very strong and it is giving a kind of call to action. So that's how it works. And another thing, after you have given the sales pitch, do not forget. There is a famous quote in English, out of sight, out of mind. There is nothing wrong if you have to take follow-up. Investors may be getting such calls or such presentations every day. I am not saying that you become a nagging potential in person, but make sure that you take the follow-up in a professional manner. Maybe after 3 days, 1 week, you write a professional email. I am so and so. I gave my presentation on so and so date. I request you to share your inputs on that or share the outcome of my presentation. So follow up promptly with any requested information or next steps. Or you can write one line that if you require more presentations or you require any additional detail, we would be happy to help. Now, such persuasive statement that you write in your follow-up emails, so they understand that you are confident about your product. Okay. So one point that I want to emphasize on the bottom line is that it's not like that you have pitch in where you have given your sales pitch and you completely forget the investor will contact me. No, you will have to take the follow-up. Now you decide whether you want to take follow-up in a week, 10 days, 15 days. As a thumb rule, people say at least 3 follow-ups you should take. At least 3 follow-ups. If somebody is not responding, give them some time. At least 3 follow-ups you should take. If they are not responding, no problem. Move ahead. Try to pitch in for another investor. So follow-up is also important in your in such business. You need to keep in mind. So we have almost reached to the end of my session because we started a little early. So I just want to close. This is the closing remark that I wish to give. So remember, effective communication and pitching skills are essential for entrepreneurial success. Practice, refine, and constantly seek improvement in these areas. Do not think that my product is the best product and I don't need any kind of feedback into that. Don't behave like Nokia or Kodak. Kodak also did not opt for the change, and you see Sony took over and Kodak completely vanished. They filed bankruptcy. So effective communication, practice, refined pitch, and constantly seeking the improvement so that your product becomes better day by day. This is how you work, and you see the difference. Those who are, I'm sure in my session, I can see 42 participants have joined. Some of you might be starting your own venture or startups. Apply these skills and see the magic. Pitch in properly, take the follow-up, be prompt, polite, and follow all the mark. And one more thing before I leave, I repeat, sustainable business model. Never ever give any kind of superficial idea to your investor, because these days investors hate the idea of superficial, in which you are giving something for free. You are giving something too cheap. Or your business should have a sustainable model. So I repeat the word sustainable. So that's all from my side. These are my contact details. If you need any kind of help, any kind of suggestions, queries, my mobile phone and my email ID is available. You can contact me. And that's all from my side. Over to the organizers. Thank you. Any questions?
There is questions. All these attractive statements is being used by big companies to get the customers. So do they also maintain the quality? Once again,
Do they also maintain yes. So all these attractive statements is being used by big companies to persuade the customers. See, consumer is the king these days. Let me tell you, I told you what Henry Ford said. The company which makes only money, the company which is only focusing on making the money is doing the business that works only for making money is a poor business. I have given you so many examples. If you are trying to cheat your customers, few days you will survive in the market if you are not maintaining the quality. Consumers have a lot of options these days. They will simply discard you. Snapdeal is the example. Intex mobiles you must be knowing. Lava, Carbon. Okay. You talk about companies like Aircel. Okay. Docomo. Why these only three big players are ruling this telecom sector? Jio, Airtel, and Vodafone and Idea, they have merged. Because if you are not maintaining the quality, you are persuading. How long? How long can you fool? There is a famous quote by Abraham Lincoln. There's a famous quote by Abraham Lincoln. You can fool some of the people all of the time, all of the people some of the time, but you cannot fool all of the people all of the time. So such companies may flourish. पानी का बुलबुला देखा है ना आपने? पानी का बुलबुला एक बार ऊपर जाता है. It will be a kind of euphoria in the market, and ultimately they will come down. So if these companies are not doing, if they are not maintaining the quality, they are bound to be a failed one. They are bound to fail. There are so many examples you have seen. So many examples you have seen. I still remember there used to be one motorcycle brand, LML Freedom. LML is no longer operating because probably they could not live up to the expectation of the people. So, see, first, sustainable model and quality. Never ever compromise with quality. You may have to increase the price a little, but then the question comes, if I am selling a costly product, who will believe? Who will buy from me? Now, here comes your marketing strategy. I teach consumer behavior, so I can tell you, people are ready to spend more, but you provide quality and service. You provide quality and service, people will opt. But make sure your marketing team makes people believe that your product is the right product. I hope I answered your question.
That is very well explained, sir. And with congrats to you, sir. This was really mind-blowing, I must say. Very new side of the role of communication skills. And we are really enlightened on these new aspects because as a common man, we don't focus on such aspects, which is actually controlling the market. What's behind the scenes, what's going on, the big play there is out of the reach of the common man. And thank you, sir, for giving such an insightful lecture. And we hope to have many such insightful lectures from you in the future too, because you said that there are many other things you would have liked to discuss, but due to shortage of time, you are unable to. And so we'll just keep this in mind, sir, to have you here again with us. Invite us. Thank you once again, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, one question, ma'am, with due respect, I would like to ask one more question. I couldn't type in my chat box. So just may I ask one more question?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Sir, I would like to ask you, there I have seen there are many big companies, they have discount their, they have decreased the cost of their, you can say anything, but after whenever the customer increase, they suddenly increase the price of their any material. So what do you think? Is it they are going to cheat the customer? Yeah, they are just they have increased the price of the things just because they have lacking the things.
See, let me tell you, this is what I told you, what Henry Ford said. Henry Ford said that a business that only focuses on making money is a poor business. ultimately, see, if they are increasing the price reasonably, I'll give you the example. Do you remember around 2016 or 17, I think, Jio used to give the free SIM, right?
Yes,
Now, I
yes,
still
yes.
remember those days, I used to spend 219 rupees for 1 GB data, Airtel. Okay. Now, Jio brought that revolution. What they did, it's like an opium that you give it to your customers right in the beginning. So they had a lot of capital there. Reliance Group has no funding shortage, or they do not have shortage of funds. So they could manage. Small players cannot survive like that. Anyway, now what they did, they played smart. What they did, first, they changed the consumer consumption pattern. These days, even 3 GB data is not sufficient. Okay. Remember where we used to use 1 GB data for 21 days or 30 days. Ultimately, what they did, once the people became used to that, they started increasing the price reasonably, I say. And if they become unreasonable, there are other players. And because of this unreasonable hike that the Airtel was doing, because I'm in Airtel came to the foot. And let me tell you, I have done, India has the minimum, we pay the minimum call pricing, or the telecom prices that we pay minimum in the world. Okay. Why? Companies like Vodafone has a global business also, but they are operating here because there is a check and balance. Competition Commission of India is there, which keeps a checks and balance also. So coming back to the question that you asked, if they are increasing the price exorbitantly, then it's unethical. But if they are raising the price, or they are increasing the price with the market standards, it's all right, because operating cost also gets up. Can you imagine now you see the consumer base of Jio. Nobody is leaving Jio now, though Jio has also increased, but you can do the comparison with Airtel and other players also. So marketing strategy, it is decided in the boardroom meetings how. But yes, first thing is very important, that you give right in the beginning, you give it at a discounted price. But not all companies can do that. Because companies like Reliance and Adani and Ambani's, they have this sustainable, they have so much of capital with them. Small player cannot start with the freebies. So, but yes, you start with a sustainable model. You make people understand that you are selling the good product. People will certainly believe you. I've seen, especially in the FMCG sector, I've seen, if you sell a good product with reasonable price, even price is on the higher side also, people prefer to buy your product, especially the urban population.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
So ultimately, we can say that the business should have a sustainable model, isn't it? Coming up with
Exactly. And nothing is going to survive without a sustainable model. Even our educational institutions also. Now, UGC is saying that you secure funding for yourself. Maybe 5 years down, 10 years down the line, they may not give funding. They may not provide. They are asking that you bring a sustainable model. You get the projects reasonably increase, but we cannot increase the fees like that also. So yes, every sector, wherever you go, everybody is talking about. These are you can see it is there in the UN Charter also. Even United Nations is talking about SDG. One of the SDGs is the sustainable model in everything. Sustainable development goals that we need to have.
How it leads to our topic, sir, that entrepreneurship should be introduced right in the school level. School level, college level, entrepreneurship should take the lead. And that's how everything's going to be sustainable. Thank you so much.
Taxation, entrepreneurship, taxation, and investment at the right time. I think these three things should be taught at the school curriculum level.
The new education policy, what are the good benefits from this?
Thank you so
Once
much.
again,
My
thank you.
regards to Dr. Vinamrata also and to the entire team. Thank you so much, ma'am. And that's all from my side.
Now, moving ahead, I would like to invite our next Gurbanj Acharya.
May I exit the session, ma'am?
So if you think you need to, then
I have another engagements today, so I actually am traveling. All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks. We have with us our next speaker. Sergio, welcome, sir, to this platform. I'll give a short intro for you, sir. I'll give you a short intro to our participants.
Yes,
Sir is at present posted at LND College, Motihari, as an assistant professor in English. And previous to that, he was posted at TP Verma College, Narkatia Village. He has also served as assistant professor in English at GLA University, Mathura, and also at the Mangalyakan University, Aligarh. Sir has also served as assistant professor in English at Lovely Professional University, Punjab. And along with this, he has published a number of research papers I have here with me. And he's been a writer, content writer for IGNOU. He has given many invited lectures. Sir has presented papers in many conferences and seminars. And how much to say? Sir, you're most welcome here. And people will now engage for themselves how good a speaker and what a wonderful resource person we have for them. Welcome you, sir.
thank you, Dr. Vinamrata, for thank you, Dr. Lilith, for those kind words. I am obliged, and I am obliged to you. I am specifically indebted to Dr. Lalit Prabha for inviting me, for giving me this opportunity to interact with this wonderful audience. I was actually listening to this wonderful session, the lecture by Dr. Sevendra Rahul, and it was indeed an engaging session. And I primarily, we're going to say, I would like to begin by thanking Dr. Ella Pratap, Patron and Principal, MSKB College, Dr. Vinamrata, Organizing Secretary and HOD Department of English, Dr. Lalit Prabha, Joint Organizing Secretary, Department of English, Mrs. Ritu Verma, Convener, Mrs. Convener, Department of Economics, Mrs. Shilpa Bharati, Co-Convener, Department of Economics, Mr. Shyam Singh, President, Thermoplastic and Entrepreneur, and alumnus of IIT BHU, Mr. Professor B.S. Roy, HOD, Department of English, Bihar University, Professor Madhu Shalini, Professor PG Department of English, Bihar University, and my previous speaker, Dr. Sevendra Rahul, Assistant Professor, English and Communication, National Law University, Maharashtra. I thank all of you, and I am rather honored to be a part of this such an esteemed panel. I will begin my lecture. I would like to share my screen. Am I audible to all of you? Please just kindly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
You
sir,
are audible.
audible.
Just a minute. Sorry. I think I have shared the wrong. Can you give me just a minute? I have shared, I think, the wrong file. Yes. Sorry for that mix-up. So, I actually, in a way anticipated the fact that most of our speakers will speak on English as a medium of communication and how English is important as a medium of communication. And since I am engaged with this topic and I am interested in this topic, and even also since I am a student of English, I'm a student of English language and literature, I have the specific interest. You can also say that this is some kind of bias that I have for English as a subject, English as a language, and that is quite natural, and that happens when you spend time with a language for almost a decade. So the same is with me here. I would start talking about language service as an industry. We were taking examples of different companies. We were talking about Tata's, we were talking about Jio, we were talking about Reliance Industries, we were talking about, you can say, this Vodafone, Idea, and other companies. Now, I am here to specifically discuss that how even language service, right, can also serve as an industry. What is the potentiality over when you were talking about the potentiality, when you were talking about the scope, when you were talking about the gap, when you were talking about in this particular industry, we'll be speaking about that. So I am rather, you can say, before I move ahead, I will be speaking about what do I understand by entrepreneurship. This is my view. I know I would not engage you. I know that this is the last lecture for this 3-day long conference, and most of you are already tired. You are somehow at the brink of your energy level. So I would not, bother you much, but I will quickly go through some of the slides to share my view that what I understand by entrepreneurship and how do I, you can say, look at entrepreneurship as a model, as a project. Now, I begin with a quote that all human beings by nature desire knowledge. Right? We have a natural propensity, we have a natural tendency to, you can say, to absorb knowledge. We are naturally curious. We have this innate nature, innate quality to know about these things, and this has always driven us, the human race, to, you can say, to open new avenues, to you can say, identify the challenges, and then we have also, after identifying those challenges, we have, you can say, tried to fix them, we have tried to address those problems, and we have come up with a solution. Sometimes those solutions are sustainable solutions, sometimes they have not been so, and those sustainable solutions have stayed long with us, and they have created, you can say, a very viable business model at a later point of time. And since I was talking about language, you see, language, as Gadamer says, that language can be described as the essence of human life. We all know we cannot survive without communication. As I think in the previous lectures, you have already you have heard about that your communication should be clear, it should be concise, it should have a clarity. It should not be too long, so that people by the end of your lecture or your communication gets actually, they fizzle out. Your communication should be brief, and it should actually try to put forth the real picture that we want to present in front of the people. So language is, and when we're talking about language, because if communication dies, we cannot survive. Communications is the essence of life, and it just only does not, it just doesn't, you can say, it is not only about producing meaning, it is much more than that, and that is that has been proved when we have been able to commodify language as a product, when we can actually sell language and products related to language. You can say that is the topic of my today's discussion, and I hope you will like it, you will appreciate it. So what is entrepreneurship? We all know, as I understand, entrepreneurship is almost, you can say it is a research, like a research project, where you identify a gap in the society, you identify, you can say, a possibility in the society, in the environment around you, and you try to plug it in with some kind of products, with some kind of solution in terms of it can be a digital product, it can be a manual product, it can be some kind of services, and that is what I think entrepreneurship is. Entrepreneurship is directly linked to your knowledge. If you talk about, you can say, if I share that it is linked, it is obviously about adaptability. You find an environment which is not akin to your comfort zone, which is not very amiable, and what you do, you transform that environment to your liking, to your suiting, by bringing in certain services, by bringing in certain products, by bringing in certain inputs. And you can say it is obviously a law and purposeful activity. It's a systematic activity. It is a product of an organization, and obviously there is a certain degree of risk involved into it. But much more than that, as I have started my lecture with this element, that if I go back to the very first slide, that we as human beings, by nature, we desire knowledge, and this desire for knowledge have created opportunities for us, and has created economic opportunities, have created sorry, am I going too fast, or is it okay? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So when you talk about entrepreneurship, you define it as a discovery, evaluation, exploitation of future goods and services. It is increasingly viewed as critical ingredient in regional and economic growth. Your new knowledge-based enterprises have high chances of survival, because when you are talking about new knowledge, when you are bringing in new system, if you talk about when computers, when during Second World War, when the Allied forces was actually on the verge of defeat, on the brink of defeat, there was this one wonderful person, scientist, who came up with this idea of decoding the messages fast, of encoding the messages fast, so that the enemy, they cannot decode it, and they cannot, you can say, and can cause harm to the Allied forces. And that actually in future led to what we are calling computer. Today, it is a marvel of, you can say, technology, that being located at different places, we can connect. You can say through virtual media, we can talk with each other, and someone is traveling and yet he is delivering a lecture. What we can call this? We can call this as a marvel, as an where you are using knowledge for, you can say, for improving your living condition, for improving this, you can say, the quality of human life. So contribution of knowledge-based enterprises are grounded on the premises that new knowledge is a critical source of innovation, economic dynamism, and growth. Dr. Sivendra Rahul was giving example of Nokia. He was giving example of lava and carbon. Now, if we take or I can give you another example, like if you remember about Kodak. Kodak was in this segment of cameras. Now, products like Nokia and Kodak, they could not actually adapt themselves with this fast growing, domain of smartphones or Kodak couldn't match with Kodak could not actually improve on their with this evolving technology of these digital cameras, and that is why they failed as a business. They failed as an organization, because they couldn't bring in this new knowledge input into their system. They could not adapt to this new knowledge system, and that is why it is at that particular point I feel that entrepreneurship has a direct association with you can say knowledge creation and knowledge, because it has this unique element of innovation and creation. And innovation to a certain degree is actually associated with knowledge. Now, the word knowledge in itself is a broad term. It is a big term, but yes, anything you can say, if we talk about this entrepreneurship scenario in India, we are talking about, I'm thankful to the organizing secretaries and the conveners of this seminar, that they have, you can say, they have actually conceptualized, they have tried, they have been very courageous to come up with this topic of entrepreneurship, in an institution like ours. And this idea of entrepreneurship, this is already 10 to 15 years old now. It is not like this, that this is an evolving field, but yes, there are a lot of opportunities left that which we can exploit. We have seen in the recent years that there have been wonderful entrepreneurial ventures in India. Specifically, we have n number of examples, and these are some of the examples in front of you. We have Flipkart. Flipkart, I remember Flipkart, the Bansal brothers, they came up with this idea of digital, you can say, online marketplace, even before Amazon actually entered the Indian market back in 2003 and 2004. And then we have Ola, we have founder of Oyo, we have Nykaa, we have Mamaearth, we have Zomato. Now, so for Zomato and Swiggy, they have how they have there is a marriage between delivery and technology, and they were the pioneers in this field. That how you can when people are not willing to visit the restaurants and restaurants were dying, so how you can actually create a sustainable business for the restaurants, and you can create a kind of idea of convenience for the customers as well. So there is an idea of innovation there, and you see what I was talking about. I was speaking of that there is a new knowledge system, and without this new knowledge system, entrepreneurship cannot sustain. And you have Indian universities, you have Indian institutions where we have incubation cells where they actually you can say they shape future entrepreneurs. They discuss with them, business ideas are being discussed. They try to create business models. They try to they try to launch some startups. And if we talk about our own land, if we talk about Bihar, and we have this some prominent women entrepreneurs of Bihar who are still now doing wonderful job. For example, I am sorry, I think this visual is not very clear. The picture has is a bit hazy. So I will name them: Sukriti Ray and Yashi Malviya. You can say they were the founder of Bihar Bites. And Bihar Bites, they came up the idea that they across India or even beyond India, Bihar is being perceived in a very negative light. So what they are doing, they are trying to break the myth, and they are bringing coming up with very positive inputs that how Bihar is and how should Bihar be projected towards the world outside. So, and wonderful initiative. You have you can say this Sazia Kaiser, Revival Shoe Laundry. She's a woman, and she has worked with WHO and UN, and she came back to Bihar, her own land. And you can say she started reusing leather products, leather, which is one of the highest, you can say, contributors to environmental pollution. She has started working with that, and she is doing a wonderful job in our own land. So we have, it is not that we have entrepreneurs beyond the land of Bihar. We have entrepreneurs already who are working in Bihar, and they are doing wonderful jobs. So all of us, we can do extremely fine, wonderful job if we can identify the area of gap and have some courage, gather some funding, use our knowledge, and really work hard to pursue our dreams. Yes, this might intrigue you. I thought to bring in some kind of humor, some kind of, a change with you. How many of you know about this film? आप लोगों में से कितने लोग इस फिल्म के बारे में जानते हो? You know, Bollywood within us, without Bollywood, there cannot be any discussion. We love Hindi films, we love Bollywood. So, any guess about this film? When this film was launched? No. Okay, I had almost an idea that people will not be able to guess. First Gyare Obama, it came in the year 2010, and one part of that film is about the aspiration and dreams of a middle class person, like a middle class man, like these people who are, or gangsters who are actually quite visible on the posters, the four of them. And this particular, the person on the left of your screen, the person with the pistol in his hand, and on his t-shirt it is written, "Yes, we can, Obama." His only dream and aspiration in life was that if I can somehow learn English and I can fly, you can say, I can somehow escape from this land and can, you can say, settle down in USA. My life is settled. All my problems will be solved, and there will be, I will have nothing to grieve about. So this was actually a dream where this film started talking about English coaching classes, how the mushrooming of English coaching classes and the fascination of English languages, English as a language among the urban or the rural middle class of India. And no points for guessing about this film, Donkey. It was released just, you can say, a few months back. And Donkey had a similar, you can say, scenario where these five, young people, they thought that if they can learn English, they will get a visa to UK or Europe, and then there they can work, and they can earn in pounds, they can earn in euros, and they will be able to send money home, and their problems will be solved back at in Punjab. All their problems will be resolved. And it actually criticizes the coaching institutes, that how they, you can say, they juggle with the life of these youngsters. And one of them, I think it was the character over here just beside Shah Rukh Khan. He committed suicide because Vicky Kaushal's character committed suicide because he couldn't, earn that visa to Europe. So that is why I am discussing about these things. I discuss these things because I was trying to project this view that language, how important or how big language as an industry is. I would be giving this figure that I have, that I have here is this international figure. It is estimated that currently in 2023, it is one of the fastest growing industries internationally, and it's value is around roughly, it is about $75 billion. And it is estimated to grow by a CAGR of 7.5% to $129 billion by 2030. So this speaks about the huge wealth that we are talking about, the huge money that is involved in the language industry. If we speak in Indian, in terms of Indian money, it is around 6,000 to 7,000 crores that we are talking about. And remember, here we are only we are taking into account specifically the European countries and you can say the first world countries. We are not taking into account there are many informal coaching institutes like the one we had in Dunki or in First Gyare Obama, where we have this mushrooming of English coaching institutes or IELTS Institute, and they are not being taken into account. Otherwise, this picture is much bigger than what we have here. Now, as I can say, there are some annual student statistics report. It said that in 2022 in UK, around 2,39,000 English students. There was around 2,39,000 students of English language students, and it was an increase of 320% in respect to 2021. Remember this figure, this 2,39,000. It is not a staggering number, but in 2018 and 2019, that figure was around 5,50,000 or 5,60,000, and it was much bigger to what it is at this point of time. This business of English language was actually like all other business houses. It also took a hit due to this COVID-19 pandemic, and you can say though this sector is recovering fast, but and still UK is the most preferred destination for English language teaching, or ELT as they call it very you can say fondly. And these are some of the countries, and I think you will be surprised to know India is not one of them. And these are the countries who are the leading countries who participate in this English teaching programs. We have Saudi Arabia, Japan, Germany, Argentina. Then we have Italy, Brazil, South Korea, Mexico, Spain, Switzerland, Oman, Colombia, France, Kuwait, Thailand, China, Turkey, Chile, Poland, and so on and so forth. So you can see that the markets, you can say, when you were talking, I am specifically right now talking about UCO as the market. And I still remember as when I was teaching at Lovely Professional University, Cambridge Press, specifically whose base was at Delhi, they came up with a proposal to the university staff that, your teaching staff, they are working on, you can say, creating English language material, and maybe they are not quite up to the mark, and they need some kind of revisions, they need some kind of modifications. And they arranged some kind of, you can say, orientation workshop for all of us for almost 2 to 3 weeks. And then what they did, they at that point of time, Lovely Professional University had almost 40,000 students on campus. So it was a huge number. And what they did, they pushed their product they had this material for communication, business communication, and they sold those. They signed a MOU with the university that the university will use those study material, which can create a platform for standardization of business communication and to improve the business communication of the students coming from various various backgrounds, various state linguistic and cultural backgrounds. And they were able to create a very lucrative business with an university which is located in in India itself. And it was back in, I'm speaking about 2014, 2015. And yes, the language material, no doubt, they were wonderful. They were they created a difference in our teaching. They created a difference in the students. But what I am speaking about how smartly they came up with this product, and they went ahead with the orientation program with the you can say teachers who were at that point of time present in that university, and they persuaded the university to sign an MOU with them, and they sold their products. I think many of you know that if you want to be a teacher of English language instructor, if you want to be an English language instructor for foreign you can say foreign students from Korea, Saudi Arabia, Japan, Germany, Italy, you must actually possess a CELTA certificate. CEL, or sometimes people call it CELTA certificate, is a proficiency language teaching proficiency test, and it is again owned by Cambridge, the house. So you see, this is also a product that I'm talking about. So language teaching as a DLT, as an industry. I have also given another figure over here, that is around 1.4 billion pound. It gives UK around 1.4 billion pound every year. It creates around 35,700 jobs, around 20,000 in ELT, and remain in the remaining in associated sectors like tourism. You can say people from students from, or people who come from middle class families, from ordinary families, they actually benefit because of this ELT program. And they 80% of students, they actually reported that they want to go back to UK to improve their you can say proficiency, to improve their chances of you can say earning more in this ever expanding language industry. Now yes, student motivation, what are the challenges in English language teaching? We have many challenges. One is student motivation, because we know it is commonly pursued, sometimes perceived, specifically in urban areas, where due to you can say a plethora of English medium schools for past 2 to 3 decades or even 4 decades, that many students feel that English communication is not something that is to be taken very seriously. And many students who come from the rural background, they have just a perception quite opposite to what I stated. They have they suffer from a phobia, and they feel that it is a kind of Herculean task that they will ever be able to. They will be able to actually conquer, or they will be able to complete. So this students, sometimes they back off. They are not very willing to learn English. They are not very much motivated to learn English. So to create a kind of motivation, to create a kind of need, is one such area. Now we talk about technological advancement. As I was talking, I gave you the figure. Technological advancement has caused a major dent in the business of English language teaching, specifically during this post-COVID-19 era, and we have witnessed some major paradigm shifts. Then we have digital divide. We have many students and sometimes even instructors too, who are not very friendly with the ICT tools. ICT means this information communication tools that we use during teaching, and that is why also this program suffers. Specifically in India, we have many teacher instructors as well as students who are not very comfortable with this entire you can say digital interaction or digital products of ELT. So this also is a major impediment. And finally, the arrival of artificial intelligence in a big way has already caused certain disruptive role in the teaching of English. We presume that it will be an aid in the coming days, but right now the challenges it is posing itself as a challenge, that how to deal with how to take AI on your side and create yet make these products a viable one, and people will quickly buy these products because they will be benefited out of it. So when we are talking about I discussed about ELT as a product. I discussed about English language teaching as a product. I discussed about ESL as a product, English EFL as English as a foreign language as a product. Now I will discussing about some other products of language. We have many products, but I will be concentrating on the major products that are available. Say we have translation, we have interpretation, we have localization, and we have multilingual desktop publishing. They are also products of language. Translation is an age-old device. We all know about translation. अनुवाद जिसको हिंदी में हम लोग कहते हैं. Why these products are important? Because we know we are living in an age of internet. We are living in a digital world, and in this world, what we are finding that the share of English as a language is fast growing down. Only 50% of all the web content is in English. The rest 50% is devoted to languages like Russian, German, Japanese, Spanish, French, Chinese, and Portuguese content. So you see, the foreign languages, the share of foreign languages are growing, and it will grow further as the days will pass by. And due to globalization, you can say, and free trade agreements, you can say we should be able to speak very freely with the speakers of.
अच्छा, दूसरी बात है कि आप लोग का जो ईरा है उस समय का ईरा है जिस समय आते
Okay, we should be able to communicate very effectively with the speakers of other languages. So so when you were talking about translation, translation, as I said, is an oldest tool. Translation has been also used as a political tool. Our colonials have used translation as a tool to, you can say, translate our text into English, and then interpret in their own way, and teach us those same text in English. And we have seen, we started seeing the world, our own world, through their eyes. And translation was a very powerful tool of imperialist forces like Britain, like France, Portuguese, Spanish, and all. So, and it is over the time translation was also a very old and effective tool for disseminating knowledge across different languages. Translation, so people like big tech giants like Microsoft and Google, they saw an opportunity in this particular domain. They tried to enter this domain with machine translations. They tried to enter this domain with machine translation, and yet they have not been very successful. Till this day, human translators, with help of you can say digital tools, or you can say artificial intelligence, they still are the most dependable you can say a medium of translators. We cannot replace human translators right now, because machine translation till this point of time. Yes, it is, they are doing fine job. They have invested billions and billions of dollars for improving this machine translation. We have Google Translate as a product. If you log on to Google, you will find Google Translate from Hindi to English or English to Hindi. You will find there. But if you have appreciable command in English or in both the languages, say Hindi and English, you will find that the translation for most of the languages is not is not satisfactory. There is a room for improvement. So that is how we can say we have discussed about translation as a tool. I am now going to, I would be not going to the details of the localization. We have moved on to localization as a product. Before I move on to localization, I would just try to give you another view of localization. Other than translation, localization is another product of language industry. Now, what is localization? Localization is simple. If you go through these bullet points, you will find out that it is nothing but when you are trying to sell a product to a different cultural or a linguistic community, and you try to make it popular among that cultural and linguistic community. What you do, you try to bring in, you try to adapt with graphical and images of that particular community or that particular target group. You take up their symbols, you take up their icons, you take up their language, and you modify your product in such a way that over the period of time, they forget that this is a foreign product, and they feel that this is an Indian product. This is an Indian product that we are using. For example, Maggi. All right, look at how Maggi has, Nestle has modified the brand Maggi. Initially, Maggi used to come in those set packets of 10 rupees or 12 rupees. Now they have you can say capture the rural population. What they came up with Chotu Maggi or the 5 rupees Maggi. It is primarily meant for the rural customers, rural consumers, and this is a wonderful example of localization. And this concept of localization here, you can see, without the help of linguistic experts, you cannot move into this area, this field. Take another example of Hindustan Unilever. The way we have been using Surf Excel, we have been using other products of Hindustan Unilever, we feel that it is an Indian company, but the way it has adapted itself to the Indian scenario, it is praiseworthy. And this is also another example of localization, where you have you convert all the parameters to which is in tandem with the ambience, the economic, the social, the linguistic, the cultural ambience of that particular place or that particular zone. I would then let us talk about this. You can say interpretation. Interpretation is you can say where you are translating. There are foreign speakers. Say, I speak in Hindi, and there is a person who speaks in Germany. He is not trained in my language. He does not have the ear to understand my language. So what we have professional interpreters who sit in between, and they take a pause between every dialogue, and the interpreter actually interprets the message and communicate it to the other. Now, this is again, this is a big market. Professional interpreters are still doing a good job. And again, we have digital products. Digital products are being, tech giants like Google, Microsoft. They are already working on developing tools, sustainable tools of interpretation, language interpretation. And we have rather 3 stages of interpretation. One is consecutive interpretation, one is simultaneous interpretation, and one is sight interpretation. When you have, say, we are one-to-one speaker, and I am speaking to you in a language and you do not understand that language, what happens? There is an interpreter in between. He listens to what I have to say, and then he's actually relays that message to the listener. The listener again responds to it. So the interpreter here acts as an encoder of the message and relays it forth and back. We have simultaneous interpretation. In simultaneous interpretation, this kind of interpretation, it takes place in conferences, in large-scale meetings where we cannot have pauses. So here, what the interpreters do, they sit aloof in a relay room, and they every listener, they have a you can say hearing aid, and interpreters, they constantly relay the message that is being you can say delivered by the speaker on the dais. So that is simultaneous interpretation. There is no pause in between, and this interpretation goes on. And this is a field where this digital improvisation in the recent years has brought some change, has brought some you can say revolution, and we can witness a massive massive shift in this particular field of interpretation. And the last one is the sight interpretation, where you go through a document and you interpret it, and you actually narrate it to the listener. You explain it to the someone. Even here we have digital products where we can scan it and translate it. By scanning that particular message, you can see we have it in our phone also. But then again, this is not quite dependable. We still are dependable on human interpreters. But yes, digital intervention is fast, you can say, entering in this particular field. We have this multilingual desktop publishing. You can say when marketing materials like brochures, pamphlet, flyers, booklets, they have been created in a graphic design program, and the source language is replaced by the translated language. Say the source language is English and we must print it in Hindi. So when we do that, we need to have multilingual desktops, and we have programs, design programs like Adobe Illustrators, Framework, PageMaker, Microsoft Publisher. These are the digital products which have created a space for themselves in designing these graphical marketing tools for where this foreign language, the source language can be translated into the target language, and the target, the target market can be actually captured. The target market can be taken over. So this is another wonderful example where language as an industry is working. We have plenty of examples. Why I am speaking about language as an industry. We have emerging industries like travel tourism, e-commerce, financial. The financial sector, it is always expanding. Look at the kind of digital products that we have in the finance sector right now. We have personal finance apps, Android apps. We have insurance. How much insurance do you need? How can I? How much mediclaim do you need? How should you plan your finances? Where should you invest and where should you not invest? You have AI robots who are advising you in terms of investing. So you see that cannot happen without the inputs of language industry, without the inputs of language experts. And we know as far as the languages of the world, in 2018, around 71,000 languages were spoken around the world. And these languages, many languages are fast dying. In many languages, we have the last survivor they are on the verge of extinction, where only the last speaker is left, and once he dies, once once he is dead, the language is also dead with him. So for the urge of conservation, also for the creation, as I said, for the sake of knowledge repertory, we must bring in, we must tap in that language. We can work on that language on language as an industry, not only only English, but other languages as well. Other domains of language industry, obviously we have advertising, we have content writing, we have script writing, we have transcreation, we have cultural consulting, we have English adoption, we have internalization of English as a language. We have multilingual social media keyword search. You can, if you log into your Facebook, on your Instagram, you have your, you have those keywords now, or even in WhatsApp, you can type your messages in Hindi, in other languages. If you are a speaker of Marathi, you can type in Marathi. If you're a speaker of Tamil, you can speak, type in Tamil. So this multilingual social media keyword search or communicator, these tools, they are fast showing us that what is the scope of language as an industry. You might ask me right now that okay, till now, Badoo, till now you have spoken about the various segments of language as an industry, but what is the scope of this industry here in India? I have not made slides of those, you can say, scopes, but I will end my lecture, my discussion today with this insight, or with this particular input, not insight, particular input. You see, long back, since long, English as a communication skills, they have been a part of the curriculum for Indian universities, specifically the engineering institutes, medical institutes, law institutes, you can say this management institutes. Their communication, basic and advanced level of communication, is a mandatory course. And major players like HCL, Mahindra Tech, TCS, Infosys, they have invested in crores and crores of rupees, in terms of millions of rupees, in terms of designing language software, where these softwares are designed in such an interactive manner that they will be able to teach the students in a more playful manner, in a more interactive mode, and the students will be able to assimilate those linguistic inputs will be able to master English in a better way. So this language as an industry has always existed in India. As a product, it has already existed. But right as I have already shown those two posters, film posters, one Pasgar Obama and one Dunkey, my point was that we have a lot of informal force in terms of English language teaching institutes, and they can transform themselves into future unicorns. Look at the example of Physics Wala. Physics Wala was started by a person, a simple physics teacher, teachers like us, and he believed in his dream. And today, this Physics Wala is a multi-billionaire, industry. It has expanded itself throughout India. Look at the example of Byju's. So why it cannot happen same with English? Because we need English as a mode, as a language, not only for those educational institutes. We need English even at the industry level, where there are instructors for teaching teaching those you can say newly inducted staff regarding the finesse or the office culture and personality development, communication, advertising, and so on and so forth. And companies are always looking for low cost, viable products, sustainable products. So if we can come up with a product that can actually bridge this gap, where where this product can come up, and they can be a one-stop solution for our problems in English, for our problems in writing, for our problems in harnessing new ideas. So that is an area that we can think about in India. In India also, it is a multilingual country. We have translation as a tool, cultural consulting as a tool. You can say multimedia, social media keyword search as a tool can be used for you can say as a part of the language industry. And most importantly, we can develop language products. If we can think of language products, we can develop them, and we have a ready market in terms of Indian universities, colleges, and you can say this technical institutes, where this language products can be easily be marketed, and they can be sold over there. And this can be a very, we can say think of as a next you can say unicorn, business unicorn coming from the specific industry, the language industry. I think I have been able to make some certain sense. My lecture, I admit that it was a bit theoretical in terms of in its content and delivery, but I have also tried to sprinkle a bit of humor, and I have tried to include certain examples so that you can easily appreciate it, you can understand it. I will can say end my discussion, and I will hand over. I will ask the organizers to take over from me, and thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. It was a great honor and pleasure listening to you, sir. And well, I know all the participants must also be enthralled by this. It was so enriching, sir. And these aspects we never thought of, like we don't try to delve into this aspect of the language, that it is developing as an industry, or what impact it has nationally as well as internationally. So
yes,
new aspects that you brought forward.
If anyone has any kind of question, I can also I will try to answer that. But specifically, if we can,
Krishna Murari had a question. Krishna
Murari.
Okay.
Please unmute. Krishna Murari, if you can unmute yourself and ask the question.
Yes, sir. I would like to ask, as you have said, that there are many entrepreneurs who have been started in Bihar, but I personally believe that the number of entrepreneurs from Bihar is less than the comparatively in another state. So, what was the reason of that? So this was my question.
Yes, we must create an environment. That is the one-liner for you can say to your, let's say, question. We must create a environment which can help these businesses to grow, to mushroom. And I will say the government of Bihar right now is doing wonderful job. I don't know whether you have heard about Chanpatia. Chanpatia is lately, it has come up with many projects in last 2 to 3 years, and it has received national recognition. Even you can say there are IIT graduates. I do not know the name. I'm very sorry at this point in time. There are IIT graduates. There are students who are from IIMs, and they have left. They were working somewhere abroad. They have left their job, and they are working in Bihar, in the fields of Bihar. For example, there is a boy in Patna who has now a multi-million, he's doing great in terms of businesses. He's working on the concept of farm to table. He's directly purchasing vegetables and raw materials from the farmers, and he's selling to the customers. And he has those portable vans on the roads of Patna where you will get fresh vegetables, organic vegetables. The same is with another person. He's working somewhere in this. I'm very sorry, I cannot give you the specifics. But if you can browse, you can Google them. You will obviously find those stories. They are very inspiring stories. So I would not say that there are not many. People are already there. People who have this zeal, they have this vision. They are already working there, and they are creating an environment for themselves. And in the recent decade, the government, you can say, has taken up this project. They are visiting every college. They are encouraging students to come up with their ideas. They are providing with funds, the initial funds to start up new projects. So I think the future in Bihar is extremely bright. It is only for the students and the stakeholders to recognize that opportunity and to tap into that opportunity, to cash into that, to bank into that opportunity. Right? You have to find out your passion, as Dr. Rahul mentioned earlier in his speech, that you have to have that passion. If that passion is missing, if you do not have a vision, as I said in my lecture earlier, that if you cannot identify that gap, then you will not be able to build a sustainable model, a sustainable business. So that passion, if you can have that passion and if you try to build a business, I think no one can stop you. Right now in Bihar, Bihar has a very bright future. 10 years down the line, I see Bihar in a different zone because many people from abroad, people who are basically from Bihar, they are abroad and from very esteemed institutions, and coming back to the land of Bihar so that they can give back, both in terms of as a service, as well as they can create a sustainable model for themselves and for the society.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Anyone other has some question? You may unmute yourself. Does anyone has a question?
I don't think so, because the area that I can say tried to speak about, it is an area people rarely think of. We already had British councils. We already had, you can say, different, you can say, language as a product can be based for we can carry out surveys, and the surveys can also be, you can say, it can be built into a business model. British Council has already done that. So I hope some of you will go back and try to think upon this idea. As I said, I am a man of English. I am a student of English, so I have certain biasness to my subject, and that is why I preferred this topic rather than only speaking about communication. I already know. I assumed that people will already cover this other areas of communication. So I hope you found something interesting in this, in my speech or in my lecture.
So you've done great justice topic that you chose, because this is not much traversed. And as far as you mentioning British Council, I would like to share that I was also a master trainer. We've done under the BLISS project that British Council was carrying out as a project in Bihar. Back in, I presume, from 2011 onwards. And due to that, I got a chance to go to Liverpool to attend a conference there. And I was a master trainer in that project. So yes, they started way back. And they progressed quite a lot.
And you must be...
really...
And you must be aware that how they are always evolving with new methods and new products of language teaching. I never thought about this topic until and unless I confronted with these Cambridge people back in 2015, and they created a market for themselves, and then their product was something that I still remember today, and that is an area that must be, you can say, explored for our own good.
Actually, they worked ahead of the times. Like
Yes.
now that we are making online classes popular and podcasts popular, back then in 2011-12, they had already started, teaching about such methods that classes can also be held in this manner. So of course, they are
Right.
much ahead of us. We need to find our own ways, and like our focus is on entrepreneurship. We need to search for things like I think you said that the fields that have not been traversed, we have to delve into that so that we can be successful. Thank you so much, sir. Such an enlightening session. And with that, we come to the close of our seminar. I would like to invite my colleague, Ritu ma'am, to please conduct the vote of thanks.
थैंक यू ललित प्रभा मैम। नमस्कार, मैं रितु वर्मा, असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ इकोनॉमिक्स, एमएस कॉलेज से 3 दिवसीय अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सेमिनार के तीसरे दिन एक बार फिर से वोट ऑफ थैंक्स के लिए आपके समक्ष प्रस्तुत हूँ। एक्सप्लोरिंग द न्यूसेंस ऑफ स्किल डेवलपमेंट इन अनलिशिंग एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप विषय पर आधारित 3 दिवसीय अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सेमिनार अंग्रेजी विभाग और अर्थशास्त्र विभाग के संयुक्त तत्वाधान में प्राचार्य लोकमान्य रविंद्र प्रताप सर की अध्यक्षता में किया गया है। माना जाता है कि किसी भी देश की प्रगति वहां के युवाओं के मजबूत कंधों पर सवार होकर आती है। इस वक्त भारत की कुल आबादी का तकरीबन 33% हिस्सा युवा है। इस तथ्य को महत्व देते हुए केंद्र सरकार देश के विकास का ताना बाना इन्हीं युवाओं के इर्द गिर्द बुन रही है। सरकार के लिए उन्हें सही दिशा और मौका देना एक बहुत बड़ी चुनौती है। हालांकि इसको ध्यान में रखते हुए युवा पीढ़ी के कौशल विकास की दिशा में और बेरोजगारी को कम करने के लिए सरकार ने कई महत्वाकांक्षी योजनाओं का आगाज भी किया है। मसलन स्किल इंडिया प्रोग्राम, प्रधानमंत्री कौशल विकास योजना, स्टार्टअप इंडिया, राष्ट्रीय कौशल नीति, ताकि हम जॉब सीकर की जगह जॉब गिवर बन सके। इस दिशा में बढ़ने के लिए युवा पीढ़ी के समक्ष कौन कौन सी चुनौतियां हैं और इन चुनौतियों से निपटने के लिए सरकार क्या कुछ कदम उठा रही है, इन्हीं बातों पर चर्चा के लिए इस अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सेमिनार का आयोजन किया गया है, ताकि इस मुद्दे पर देश विदेश के विद्वत जनों से विस्तार से चर्चा कर सके और अपने समस्याओं का समाधान पा सके। इस सेमिनार का उद्देश्य सभी युवाओं को उनके खुद के लिए और उनके परिवारों के लिए एक बेहतर भविष्य की अपेक्षा करने और उसे अर्जित करने का एक अवसर प्रदान करना है। इस सेमिनार के प्रथम दिन हमारे साथ यूएसए से प्रोफेसर श्याम सिंह, बिहार विश्वविद्यालय के प्रॉक्टर और पीजी इंग्लिश डिपार्टमेंट के हेड प्रोफेसर बीएस रॉय साहब, एलन मिथिला यूनिवर्सिटी से डॉक्टर मुकुंद कुमार, पीजी इंग्लिश डिपार्टमेंट से प्रोफेसर मधु शालिनी मैम और बिहार सरकार के उद्यमिता विकास संस्थान से मास्टर ट्रेनर अरविंद कुमार सर जुड़े। इन सभी विद्वान जनों ने उद्यमी बनने की दिशा में क्या क्या चुनौतियां हैं और उन चुनौतियों का सामना करने के लिए व्यक्तिगत स्तर पर हमारे युवा कौन कौन से स्किल्स को डेवलप करें और युवाओं की राह को आसान बनाने के लिए सरकार द्वारा कौन कौन सी योजनाएं चलाई जा रही हैं, उस पर विस्तृत रूप से चर्चा की गई। साथ ही हमारे सभी रिसोर्स पर्सन ने प्रतिभागियों के प्रश्नों के समाधान भी दिए। प्रथम दिन मंच संचालन अंग्रेजी विभाग की सहायक आचार्य डॉक्टर ललित प्रभा मैम ने किया और धन्यवाद ज्ञापन अर्थशास्त्र विभाग की हेड रितु वर्मा द्वारा किया गया। तकनीकी संचालन अंग्रेजी विभाग की हेड डॉक्टर विनम्ता मैम और अर्थशास्त्र विभाग की सहायक आचार्य शिल्पा भारती द्वारा किया गया। 3 दिवसीय अंतरराष्ट्रीय सेमिनार के दूसरे दिन 2 तकनीकी सेशन और 2 पैरेलल सेशन का आयोजन किया गया। तकनीकी सेशन में देश भर के अलग अलग विश्वविद्यालयों से प्रतिभागियों ने हिस्सा लिया। प्रथम तकनीकी सत्र में चेयरपर्सन के तौर पर अलीगढ़ मुस्लिम विश्वविद्यालय से डॉक्टर मोहम्मद शकीब अबरार रहे। इन्होंने कुशल संवाद की बारीकियों से सभी को अवगत कराया। दूसरे सत्र की अध्यक्षता डॉक्टर पूर्णिमा मैम ने की, जो बनारस हिंदू विश्वविद्यालय की सहायक आचार्य हैं। उन्होंने अच्छा श्रोता होना कितना जरूरी है और अच्छे वक्ता के गुणों से सभी को अवगत कराया। दोनों सत्रों का तकनीकी संचालन सेमिनार के संयोजक डॉक्टर विनम्रता मैम ने किया। डॉक्टर शिल्पा भारती मैम और डॉक्टर ललित प्रभा मैम ने पैनल सत्रों का संचालन किया, जिसमें अर्थशास्त्र और अंग्रेजी विभाग की छात्राओं ने हिस्सा लिया। अंतरराष्ट्रीय सेमिनार के तीसरे दिन एक्सप्लोरिंग न्यूसेस ऑफ स्किल इनहैंसमेंट इन अनलेशन एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप विषय पर चर्चा के लिए हमारे साथ पाकिस्तान से कॉमर्स कॉलेज के रिटायर्ड एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर और डिप्टी डायरेक्टर और एक रिनोड पोएट डॉक्टर मोहम्मद शाहनजर सर, बिहार विश्वविद्यालय से असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर राकेश कुमार सिंह, नेशनल लॉ यूनिवर्सिटी महाराष्ट्र से इंग्लिश और कम्युनिकेशन डिपार्टमेंट से असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर शिवेंद्र राहुल जी और LND कॉलेज मोतिहारी से असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर दुर्वादल भट्टाचार्य के द्वारा व्याख्यान प्रस्तुत किया गया। अब यह कार्यक्रम समापन की ओर है। निश्चय ही आज का सेमिनार हम सबके लिए बहुत ही ज्ञानवर्धक रहा। इस कड़ी में मैं पाकिस्तान के रिटायर्ड एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर मोहम्मद शाहनजर सर को आभार व्यक्त करती हूँ कि आपने पोएट्री, उसके फंक्शंस और एक अच्छी पोएट्री लिखने की जो इम्पोर्टेंट टिप्स होते हैं, अपने आप को एक स्टैब्लिश्ड पोएट के रूप में स्टैब्लिश करने के जो इम्पोर्टेंट टिप्स होते हैं, वो आपने उस विषय पर आपने बहुत ही विस्तृत रूप से सभी प्रतिभागियों को अपने विचार साझा किए। इसलिए सर आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद कि आपने अपने बिजी शेड्यूल के बावजूद हम सभी के लिए समय निकाला और अपने विचारों और अनुभवों को हमसे साझा करके इस कार्यक्रम की महत्ता को बढ़ाया। मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगी बिहार विश्वविद्यालय के पूर्व प्रोक्टर और एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर राकेश कुमार सिंह सर का, जिन्होंने गरीबी इसको मापने के तरीके, पंचवर्षीय योजनाओं द्वारा, न्यू इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी 1991 द्वारा, नीति आयोग द्वारा, ग्लोबलाइजेशन द्वारा कि गरीबी को दूर करने के उपायों और रोजगार को बढ़ाने के उपायों पर विस्तृत रूप से बहुत ही सहज ढंग से चर्चा की। आपके इस ज्ञानवर्धक जानकारी से हम सभी लाभान्वित हुए। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर। इसी कड़ी में आगे बढ़ते हुए मैं नेशनल लॉ यूनिवर्सिटी के असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर शिवेंद्र राहुल जी को धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगी, जिन्होंने उद्यमशीलता को सफल बनाने के लिए हम कैसे इफेक्टिव कम्युनिकेशन द्वारा और टीचिंग स्किल्स द्वारा अपने आप को सफल बना सकते हैं, इस पर बहुत ही अच्छे तरीके से सभी पार्टिसिपेंट्स को से अपने अनुभव साझा किए। इसी क्रम में मैं LND कॉलेज के असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर दुर्वादल भट्टाचार्य को धन्यवाद देती हूँ, जिन्होंने लैंग्वेज सर्विस इंडस्ट्री के द्वारा हम कैसे अपने आप को सफल बना सकते हैं, इस विषय पर बहुत ही गहन और सार्थक चर्चा की। और साथ ही साथ सभी विद्वानजनों ने सभी प्रतिभागियों के प्रश्नों के उत्तर भी बहुत ही अच्छे तरीके से दिए। इसके लिए आप सभी विद्वानजनों का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। इसी क्रम में मैं धन्यवाद देती हूँ हमारे महाविद्यालय के प्राचार्य लोकमान रविंद्र प्रताप सर का, जिनके दिशा निर्देश में इस अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सेमिनार का आयोजन किया गया है। साथ ही मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहती हूँ इस कार्यक्रम की ऑर्गेनाइजर और हेड ऑफ इंग्लिश डिपार्टमेंट डॉक्टर विनम्रता मैम का, और को ऑर्गेनाइजर डॉक्टर ललित प्रभा मैम का, और अर्थशास्त्र विभाग के असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर और इस कार्यक्रम की को कन्वीनर शिल्पा भारती मैम का, जिनके सहयोग कुशल नेतृत्व ने सेमिनार को सफल बनाने में अपना बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण योगदान दिया। साथ ही मैं महाविद्यालय के वरिष्ठ शिक्षक डॉक्टर रईस सर, वरिष्ठ शिक्षिका डॉक्टर लक्ष्मी रानी मैम और महाविद्यालय के सभी शिक्षक और शिक्षिकाओं को, जिनकी सहभागिता कार्यक्रम में प्रत्यक्ष एवं अप्रत्यक्ष दोनों रूपों में रही है, आप सभी के सपोर्ट और सुझाव से हम आज इस कार्यक्रम का सफलतापूर्वक संचालन कर पाए हैं। साथ ही मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगी महाविद्यालय के सभी शिक्षकेतर कर्मचारियों का, जिनकी सहभागिता से हम किसी भी कार्यक्रम का सफल संचालन कर पाते हैं। साथ ही यहाँ पर उपस्थित सभी मीडिया कर्मियों को भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। अंत में मैं इस सेमिनार में उपस्थित सभी प्रतिभागियों का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करती हूँ, जिन्होंने इस कार्यक्रम को न केवल ध्यानपूर्वक सुना और उत्साहपूर्वक इस कार्यक्रम में अपनी सहभागिता भी दी। कुशल बने देश अपना, यही है हम सबका सपना। मैं आज की युवा पीढ़ी से यही कहना चाहूंगी कि कुछ अलग तरीके से सोचे, कुछ नया करने का प्रयत्न करें, हमेशा अपना रास्ता खुद बनाएं और असंभव को हासिल करें। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ मैं अपनी वाणी को विराम देना चाहती हूँ। साथ ही से एक महत्वपूर्ण सूचना ये भी है कि आज के सेशन का फीडबैक फॉर्म जो है आपके व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप पर आपको शेयर कर दिया जाएगा। जो आप सभी इस फीडबैक को फिलअप कीजिए, तभी हम आपको सर्टिफिकेट भी प्रोवाइड कर पाएंगे। इसलिए सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद एक बार फिर से।
Okay, now we have a tendency of breaking rules. So, although the formal vote of thanks has been given, again, I would like to thank Dr. Ritu ma'am for being always there, our support system, and for, of course, delivering this formal vote of thanks. So, thank you, ma'am, once again, because everyone has been thanked, but she was left behind. So, thank you, ma'am. And after this, of course, all the students, please, the resource scholars who have enrolled, please fill the feedback form, because that would be the deciding factor for the distribution of your certificates. So don't forget to fill your feedback form, which will be shared in your WhatsApp group. Thank you. This is the end of the session.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.